Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Here's Anderson with 4 on the timeout. For Christian Anderson with 8.
By Virginia. I like this offensive set, Dennis, because it leads to that. Gets over, catch and flush. Harris for Boozer. Thought about a 3. Gives it to his brother. Gets it back off the screen. Into the corner. For Saar. Bricks it. Rebound Brown. Great opportunity for Saar to make the one more pass, but the offensive rebound gives Boozer another opportunity as he knocks down the 3 ball. Entry to Maher. Maher spinning baseline against Girls. Finish. Roddy Cale Jr. with a hand.
Yeah, just I mean, they're playing their best basketball this season, and they've won 3 out of 5, and have had some really good wins in that stretch. Beat Iowa, won on the road at Minnesota, and then knocked off Washington in their last one. And it's a team that you can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence. And they play with a lot of energy and swagger. They're tough. They're physical. They got guys that are shooting the ball well right now.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. DB, what's going on, man?
How are we doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm only getting you out of one ear, so you just have to bear with me.
Yeah, me as well. That's all right.
Big one-eared Jack. Which one is it? Your right ear or your left ear?
I can hear out of the left.
I can hear out of my left too. Maybe it's maybe we're just on the wrong side of things.
Maybe. Do you want to switch?
Well, I'd still be getting the left.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe.
No, it's the right. We can't get right. Can't get right.
Well, maybe.
Well, I can still hear anything at all, which we're making progress.
It's better than
Monday.
Yeah,
Monday was a little rough.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Monday tested my functional being adult, because I could have got a 5th down by 10:30 if I would have really given in.
Which is amazing, because you didn't leave here till 10:25.
It doesn't take long to do the math, does it?
Coming up on the show today, we got Brian Christopherson at 8 o'clock from Husker 24/7, Andy KENDEIGH from KETV at 8:30, and then at 9:30 we'll be joined by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. A little later on Mitch today, so I think they've got some availability he's trying to manage there.
Availability.
Yeah.
Availability.
Yeah, we got Nebraska today, don't we?
Availability.
Yes.
Yeah, they're off today.
Yeah.
Practice-wise.
Got a little, I think, get special teams day. We get Maher, I believe.
Yeah, be back at it tomorrow.
Wonder what
yesterday was their first day of a 4:00-er.
Oh, which was a very big deal, apparently. We moved practice times. People lost their minds.
Did they? Or are you just saying
No,
that?
it was the amount of people. I was actually talking to Avery about this yesterday.
Our Avery?
Yeah.
Our very own Avery Howard?
I don't know any other Averys. I know there's a Gossett, but
so two
I
of
don't
my
know her,
favorite
though.
people are Averys.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Avery Gossett fan.
I don't
too.
know Avery Gossett.
She works her bunda off.
Yeah.
And of course, I saw Avery the other day coming in. I was like, oh my God, you just made my day. She's probably like, yeah, right. But she knows me well enough to know I'm not just going to say that.
Yeah.
If I said, I probably mean it.
If it's not true, you just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Like,
keep it pushing.
Oh, like when I say I'm over it, I'm over it. Like, yeah, I typically say what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
But no, I was talking to Avery yesterday about this, and it was the biggest takeaway for a lot of people from the initial availability. And I was like, you guys know, I mean, people have practiced in the afternoons before. This isn't like,
yeah, we could have never practiced in the morning.
Yeah.
And when they flipped the whole schedule, I talked just because I've seen it for so long and know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fresh off of kind of online, and then COVID hit. So right after Coach Frost wanted to move practices to the morning,
mm-hmm.
They had this whole shifting of availability for class.
Sure.
And when to do class. And then when Coach Rhule got here, one of the things they had to start over with is he's a big in-person class
guy. Online stuff as well.
He doesn't like to do the online stuff. So just coordinating with the campuses and the instructors and the facilities, like Dennis had his work cut out early, I think, to get everything in alignment. So the afternoon schedule, I don't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, for me, after 6:30, I'm no good. Right? Like that's just
you shut it down.
And because that's what I did for ever. Right? It was, you worked all day. I lifted at a certain time. I was done by, you're walking off the field 6:05, 6:10. You shower. Well, some of us showered. You eat.
Get some food and get out.
Yeah, and training table was 7 to 9 or study table.
Yeah,
like 7 to 9. Like that's what it was. If you were, you could negotiate maybe finagling 8:30 to get out of there, but that's just how it went down. So I was talking to a couple of the guys yesterday. I'm doing my best not to talk to Caleb, so I know he's mad because I'm sure he hears that I talk to other people. But I think the biggest thing that they've got to get used to is what to do with the open time.
That makes sense.
Right? Because if you don't have a Tuesday, Thursday class,
sure,
or you only have one class,
and how do you navigate?
Then you have to rebuild, when you want to do recovery.
Yeah.
Like you
have to rebuild your day.
Yeah, you have to figure out how to fill in those gaps. And I think the hardest thing they're going to figure out is how to this sounds ridiculous. But you have to figure out how to eat again. Because
like when to fuel,
when to fuel and when not to fuel.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to go to practice feeling full, feeling sluggish. What do you want to do for lunch? Lunch was usually your kind of refuel because you were already done. Then you would sit down or grab and go. And
now lunch is your fuel.
Yeah. So I'm not going to overcomplicate. I'm just going to tell you the practicality of moving practice as far as like peak testosterone time and what studies show. Like it's earlier in the morning, but unless you're playing a lot of 11 o'clock games, I don't know. It was kind of much ado about nothing, but I don't want to pretend that just because I did it a certain way for 5 years, that means that's
right
the best way to do it. But practicing, we'd be in meetings at 1:30. We'd be on the field by 3:15. You'd be off the field by 6:05 or 3:05. You'd be off the field at 6:05. You eat and start over. It didn't matter. We played a lot of 105 games.
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember. Colorado, I remember being early.
It's a lot of afternoon games. Though.
We didn't play a ton of 11 o'clock games that I remember.
Yeah.
I could be misremembering. It seemed like a lot of 105 stuff.
Yeah.
Which was a typical time to play. And then a night game was like this novelty cool thing.
Yeah, like one a year maybe.
So, I don't know. I do like that if you don't like the way things are going from a recovery standpoint or injuries or whatever, that you're at least looking at, hey, what could I do differently?
Yeah, what variables can I
because how
change?
many people do you talk to and it's like, well, that's what I always do. Or that's just who I am. Or
it's like, oh, I feel like trash. It's like, have you changed anything?
Yeah, that doesn't always make it a productive, good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a comfortable idea. It's not a good idea.
So, I think I don't know. It's easier. It's better for me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially like in the off season, like tomorrow. Like, man, I want to shoot down to practice.
Sure.
Now, I couldn't do that as easy. I'd have to like, Ravi, can I leave? Is it cool? Can you turn my letter to Sasha? I need a note from the doctor.
Doctor's note, a little excuse slip, whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't realize it was that big of. I don't think.
It seemed like people made a big deal about it. Like when it happened, like when it was last week, it seemed like that was one of the biggest things people took away. It was either the tone of the coaches speaking or
you better get used to that.
The practice time. And
I think I've alluded to that.
Here's the thing that I'm trying to get ahead of, I guess, or like I don't want people to look back at this and be like, if something goes bad, be like, oh, it's because I changed their practice time. That's a thing that like a lot of people do.
No, if they're good, they're going to be good. If they're bad, they're just going to be bad.
Yes. It has nothing to do with their practice at 9 or 3 or midnight or whatever, right? Like, it's not like they scheduled practices for 2 a.m. That'd be weird.
Yeah. Todd, that's right. We're old enough to remember temporary lights.
Yeah. Like it's just I don't want this to be, because like I'm sort of just earmarking all these things, like, kind of putting the little corner of the page of the book, folding it down so I can remember all these little benchmarks, like all the different things people are making a big deal out of, because I don't want people to go back and be like, well, maybe that's what, like, they're either going to win games because they're good enough or they're going to lose games because they're not good enough. Like, I don't want it to be about all this whatever. Like, because you know what helps testosterone more than practicing in the morning? Getting a good night's sleep.
Yep. That's typically when you produce the most.
Right. So, like, if you're not sleeping well or you're getting up early, and I can't remember which one of them. Maybe it was Dana. This sounds like a Dana thing to say, but
you're going to go to bed when you go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to bed when they're going to bed. It doesn't matter if wake them up at 4 a.m. or 10 a.m. They're going to bed when they go to bed. So the only thing we're changing here is actually allowing them to get enough sleep.
Yeah. I can't have it. I'm surprised. I don't know if I believe you. I mean, Avery's going to tell the truth.
Yeah. I would say talk to Avery. She was like,
but I don't. It seems kind of petty.
It was bad. No, I'm not being. It was bad enough. She's like, am I missing something?
Huh.
Like, that's the conversation her and I had yesterday. She's like, there was enough people making a big deal about it that she was like, am I not doing my job well because I don't think this is a big deal?
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things, if you want to see how the sausage is made behind the scenes, is how guys can do their recovery and treatments pre-practice that allow you the opportunity to go practice.
That's an underrated part of this.
It's super underrated.
Because preparing your body before you do something prevents injuries just as much as recovery afterwards.
So I know, and I have to be careful because I need to be careful here. Sometimes I couch my own sentiment, even though I think I'm right, just because I don't think people will know how to handle it.
Sure.
I have to stop doing that, right? I mean, you can
let
do it.
People handle however.
Yeah, you can do with the information what you will. I do think it's important. Sometimes when guys get up and they don't, quote unquote, feel good, it's like when you were a kid going to school and your mom would say, oh, hop in the I don't know, you don't seem like a shower the morning of guy. But she may tell you that just so you could feel better. Shane, I don't think he showered. I don't know who would be a good example. Rico's.
I shower every morning.
All right, Shane. So, L Dog might say, hey, Shane, I know you don't feel good. Just hop in the shower and let's see how you feel. So
I feel like a penguin.
No, because in the shower, unless you're taking cold ones, you would warm your little narrow behind up. But sometimes you feel better.
Yeah.
Or you go get in the tub, or you go get in the, you go get on the red, go get in the red light room, or
just get some food in your stomach sometimes.
Go take a flotation bath or whatever, where guys can give themselves the opportunity to get it in gear, because you're not always going to feel good.
Yeah.
And so far from what I've been able to glean, they're touching each other a little bit. So
do they have float tanks over there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a couple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's state of the art. So you get yourself out of the excuse making mode too.
Yeah.
Right. Or the get up late guys. Because let's not act like, apparently everybody but Indiana has these problems, right?
Yeah.
So guys where they don't feel good, allegedly, you could just be tired. You give yourself a day a chance to get ready. And the thing that I like on the front end, I'm a big, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but it's like this in the NFL. It's like this in college. I'm a big, let's get in the meeting room before we hit the field versus
meet after. Why do you like that better? Why do you like meeting before better?
There's pros and cons to both. I think there's more pros to meeting before. I think because I want, it doesn't, you cover all learners, whether they're the kinesthetic or like aesthetic, visual, right? Or, visual. Yeah. That's the word for visual. So you get doers and seers.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, man, let me just, I'll show you on the field. They're big, I'll show you on the field guys. Conceptually, like when they're seeing it or on their iPad, it hits different than when they're actually doing it.
Just doesn't click the same way.
You kill two birds with one stone. And you have to see how it tailors to your staff too, because some guys, so I've listened, obviously I study a lot of what Coach Cignetti says, Saban, very different approaches in terms of how they run practice. Saban does a lot of instruction in teaching and talking through drills, through practices. Not all coaches are like that. Some guys want to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And then they'll coach it up later, and they'll say, "Hey, we'll get to it when we watch film," because they're moving quickly.
They're trying to get through as many.
Some other staffs are built to teach. It just depends on where your team is emotionally of what suits your strength. Sometimes you can coach on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we would have times, didn't matter what any of my stops were coaching. I have some coaches, you know, Coach Frank was big on, like, he was quick, you know, rapid. Hey, we'll get to it. Like, when it was time to teach on the field, it would be time to teach, but he wanted, we're going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes, you know, with Coach Lamanji, he'll say, hey, you know, slow it down, take your time. You know, we'll get through it. There are other times, listen, if it's a 12-minute period, we want rapid fire reps. We got the drone, we're filming it. We'll get it in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Coach Martin was a really big teach guy.
Sure.
And, you know, we platooned a ton there. So we didn't have guys overlapping. So why we were able to get so good, you know, like, let's say defensively, I mean, we had a lot of our defensive guys, and we would have them even on offensive days.
Yeah.
So we could do a lot. And he, you know, that's just how he built the practice. So I think where you practice in the day has to fit your coach's temperament too. Because if those guys and occasionally the gals want to get early and meet and pre-plan and do that on the front end, there's some guys that plays to their strengths.
Yeah.
So I think kind of knowing the evolution. Like, if we had a meeting before would you rather meet before our show or after? Time aside.
Probably most of the time before.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right. When I'm that's just me. Now, you know, these two may be different, but when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. So
unless something like catastrophically went wrong, I probably don't need to talk about it afterwards.
So it just has to be, it just is built. So I mean, I agree with what Dana said in the presser. Like, you know, there's multiple ways to do it. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. One thing I think, if it's an advantage, if I have new guys, man, I want time to meet before we get on the field.
There's one thing you said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
you're setting
if I have
expectations.
if I have new guys,
Yeah.
I want time to meet before we get on the field.
Yeah.
And you know, they got that super huge, I'll have to take you through the facility, but you know, they have the big walk-through room that has the 40 yards by 50 yards.
It's got like the video wall on it too,
and the
doesn't it?
video wall.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a lot in there pre-practice, right? You have the huge meeting room. So when I have new guys and I'm trying to do installs, which is what they're doing, I mean, what are they going to run this spring? Like 3 coverages maybe?
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm doing that and it just expedites the install, then, hey, listen, you know, period 2 in our meetings, this is what we're hitting in this session during practice. You get older, a little more mature team, maybe you might be able to signate that thing and go an hour 40, allegedly.
It's pretty simple.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to see an hour and 40-minute practice, but I don't question, it can be done too, but I don't question, especially if they're intentional. You know, and he may use pre-practice too.
Yeah.
Like you may get a 20-25 minute pre-practice, and then when that whistle blows, like, you're into groups or your team or your stations or whatever you're doing. But now you get a more mature team.
Yeah.
An older team, like, you can do those kinds of things. And he hasn't had a lot of young guys.
It's been an old team last
so
few years.
far at Indiana. He's had a lot of older guys. So, like, you know, we'll see if they can continue with the supplementing as opposed to the high school recruiting. But I mean, he's been successful supplementing in the portal, bringing a lot of JMU guys, and then really crushing the portal the last 2 off seasons.
Yeah.
So
Not bad.
I mean, we'll see if what the sustainability is in that.
One of the things you said in there I think super interesting was the ability for guys when they're not feeling well to sort of find a way to get right.
Yeah, get right.
You know, and I think having time, because in the morning, frankly, you just don't have time to do that, right?
So we're getting ready to go to the Big 12 championship game, and the flight leaves in the afternoon, and you know, my ankle was super bad. It was taped. You know, before we got there, we had a couple guys that were hurt, and Coach Solich, before he decided whether I was going to St. Louis or not, was like, "Hey, we'll work you out in the morning. You know, meet Doak at 10. We'll do some on the field stuff, and we'll see how it works."
Yeah.
Right. If we're leaving in the morning, you're going to make an ill-informed decision one way or the other. You're either leaving me at home and I might be able to go.
Yeah.
Or you're taking me and I can't rock with you. So the daytime for assessments and evals, you don't feel rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you do have to learn to manage the time, though. It is an incredibly long day.
Yeah.
Like it's an incredibly long day.
Well, I think one of the big advantages of it is not just you've got the physical process of learning, hey, if I get in the sauna and then I get in the red light room and then I do a float for 30 minutes or whatever, I can get to a point where I feel good. I think learning the physical process of what gets you there is important, but B, just knowing, hey, just because I wake up feeling a certain way doesn't mean I'm resigned to feeling that way by the time I get on the field.
Right.
Like psychologically, that's really important.
I agree. I mean, but shoot, look at us. I might be better at 8:30 than I was at 7:30.
Yeah.
Just because I had time.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever is going on in my head or how I feel.
Yeah.
I get a chance to get lathered up. So I don't know. I can't. I'm just gonna tell you, I wouldn't love to practice at 4:00. As personally.
Mm-hmm. Little too late in the afternoon for you?
It's 51-year-old me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like to do my I like to do my work on the front end.
Yeah.
Right. So because I felt like once I was done playing, I'd earned the right to enjoy the rest of the day.
Like have your time back.
So that's the part of me talking now as a player. It depends on what time you get. Like I bet scheduling was critical. I wonder if they knew ahead of time. Because I certainly would do my class scheduling different.
Oh, for sure.
If I'm going to be an afternoon practice guy.
Yeah.
Because
how would you structure it, like ideally?
So
if they're practicing at
Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I think you're starting on the hour, or is it on the 15? That's Tuesday, Thursdays on the 45. You're done. So I would go. I would go. No, I would take 9 hours Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I would take 6 Tuesday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And I would try to have my labs on Tuesday, Thursday, and my lab a little later in the morning, if I could.
Yeah.
Now you still have to listen if I'm in, SOCH 238, and this is where it's at. But I would like to go like 8, 10, and then my third class, whatever is after that, just so I could get up and get going, then get to the facility because I want a chance to eat. Let my food digest,
time.
Then go get prep.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd have to shower. Like this is exactly what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if I could get back in the shower by 1:30 for meetings, I felt pretty functional being attentive in meetings.
Yeah.
But I was just talking to one of the players yesterday, and it's, managing the downtime throughout the day is something that like they're just getting used to. And it was the first 4 p.m. practice. So you got to tinker with it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Kind of have to.
But as far as where that leads to productivity or not, I mean, we all know it's just a different practice time.
Yeah.
But the protocol and how you attack the day is definitely a little bit different.
Good stuff there on the practice time. Let's take a quick break. We can reset some topics here because I want to get into. We've got NFL Combine starting tomorrow.
Yes, A-Train.
And
multiple days to digest.
Oh yeah. Also, somebody said if we get better as we go, then maybe that means we should have a 4th hour. They said it, not me.
I'm not down with that at all. Sometimes we need more time.
We've had a lot of people want the 4th hour. People are clamoring. At least one. I think it was Funky Giblets. So I don't know how.
Shane is like, look, fellas, you could knock that crap off right now.
Shane and Rico not trying to have it. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming next.
Yeah, they've been able to keep some guys from last year that were real key players for them. Benson's playing at a high level. CJ Gunn's playing at a high level. So I think it starts there. And then they've added some good pieces. And defensively, they've been extremely sound all season long. And why they won at Seton Hall, but they played well at against St. John's on the road. They had Xavier down 18 in the second half at Xavier, lost that game. They had Villanova down 8 to 10 points in the second half at Villanova. So they've had some near misses on the road. And it's a team that I think
really believes. They'd won 2 in a row, coming into that Providence game, and they're on the free throw line with a chance to win it, and unfortunately missed a couple free throws. So they're playing at a pretty high level right now.
I'd say it factored a lot for sure. When I found out, I talked to Coach Rhule about it, and I found out he was an option, and he was thinking about bringing him on board. I was all hands on. I love Coach Orich. I like, his scheme, his idea, his philosophy when it comes to football. So, as soon as I heard he was coming on board, I was all hands on deck with him. I mean, as far as the football aspect, really just leveling up my game. But, the biggest difference is just, like I said, mentioned just being more of a leader, being more vocal now that, those previous leaders have, moved on and are, going on to do better things. It's now my time to step up and be a voice and a leader on the team.
It's been, like I said, it's been a process. We all have to get acclimated to a new coach and a new way of doing things, but I can honestly say that it's been a smooth transition, and we're looking forward to working with him this spring, this summer, and towards the season. Yeah, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great player. He's came in with great energy, high energy, and we're still getting to know each other, but it's all been so far so good. It's been good just putting that weight room component with the on the field component, because we all know they go hand in hand. So just working in the weight room and then going out and doing drills is just making us better.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM, Ravi, Lulla. We've got some concerned people. We took a break in the first half hour. People were freaking out a little bit in the chat here. They said no food mentioned either. Kel Jam says, hug your loved ones. The world might be ending.
Just, sometimes we throw a few curveballs.
I was freaking out too.
Gotta keep people on their toes.
I gotta figure out we need a better way to do the lighting, because my makeup person is not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I tried. I'm going to the dimming powder, but the way that the lights are on me, it's like Operation Shine.
Apparently, it was
Juan hit me with the shiny noggin. I'm like, damn it! I need to go. I did put on my.
Juan's not nice sometimes.
No, I know. I'm well aware. Juan throws a few curveballs, man. Just make sure you're not settling in the batter's box. Would you like to play? Do I know a black guy today?
Pass.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm passing
So
on the
you're
white.
like, oh, for your last.
I'm passing on the white guy too, though.
No way.
Yeah, who do I can't. I'm getting a nasty glare off of him here. I'm trying to.
Are you really passing?
Yeah, I'm not good at faces, man.
Rico, would you like to help your little light brown friend out? Who is this today, Rico? How do you guys not know, and what is wrong with you people? I'm sorry, we can't hear you. He's yelling.
You don't have a mic, Rico?
I thought he had a mic. Is that Carter Nelson? That's Carter Nelson. Okay. How did you not know that?
Who am I missing?
Yeah, who am I missing, Bo? All right, here's another one. Since you don't want to risk the $10. Who is this? Know your favorite African American player. Who is this?
Kenny.
I mean, I think since I missed the white guy too, that actually gives me some credibility.
Your equal opportunity dummy.
Yeah, it's certainly not a race thing. It's just I don't know faces.
That is Andrew Marshall.
Yeah, I would not have recognized him. I think the helmets are killing me, man. I'm bad with the faces.
I think your brain is.
Well, that could be,
Really, with the Carter Nelson one, though?
Okay, we got him now. That makes sense. All right. I was maybe gonna guess Carter Nelson, but I didn't want to just throw.
What did you think your options were?
I knew it wasn't Rex Guthrie.
Although they both, it's a shoulder for both of them.
Yeah, I didn't have a good. I didn't have a good answer. Carter Nelson was about the only one I could think.
Did you pull up Andrew Marshall?
I'm working on it here.
So what head should we get this offseason?
Ooh, who do we need?
Well, there's a lot of guys we need.
I mean, we need to get Calandria, probably.
Yeah.
Need to get Calandria. I would like who else is a big addition that we wouldn't have yet? Or maybe do we have a Williams Winery head?
Yes, okay. I do have William Winery.
We need a Winery head for sure. Do we have an RVP?
No, we do not have a Van Poppel.
RVP might be good. Do we have a Pritchett?
I have to get 3 new linemen too.
Yeah. Do we have a Pritchett?
We need. I think you know what, JMP. I might have a Ja'Cory Barney. I think I do.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know he's not on the stick though.
Okay.
So I gotta get Babalade. I gotta get Mbanga. I have to meet Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, is a horrible movie.
You meet Joe Black? Meet Joe Black?
Jack Black was the character, but the movie was Meet Joe Black. But
that's the Brad Pitt movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack Black is.
Is he in that movie?
No.
Okay.
Jack Black is in. He's the funny.
I mean, I know who Jack Black is.
Yeah.
I just was confusing the movie title and the actor.
That was what the whole joke was. I have a Kalen Suave. I got DK.
You've got a Caleb, right?
My Caleb?
Yeah.
Yes.
Funky says Caleb needs to be in there. I would recognize Caleb. I would get that one.
Although he's down about 6 pounds.
Yeah. You lean up a little bit.
Yeah, he
hasn't cut his hair, has he?
Okay. 21st birthday.
Okay.
That's what he said during the whole family tree thing before they kicked me out.
Kicked you out the club?
Yeah. Yeah, all right, Dad. It's cool.
All right, we're good. We got him.
So we had to call my mom, and Zay goes, geez, Dad, you guys are just spilling all the tea. I can't stand her, but I love her. Yeah. So we need maybe Gilmer.
Austin just says, whoa, I just Googled Jack Black. This guy isn't black at all.
Wow. I believe him too.
He knew who Jack Black
was.
I
don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Had to have.
Oh, Tropic Thunder was fire.
Yeah, you would love that movie.
I thought Tropic Thunder was hilarious.
No, it's a really funny movie.
Yeah, I laughed my head off.
Who was your favorite character?
Clearly Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, but I for all Robert Downey Jr.'s problems, I actually
I like Robert Downey Jr.
I like Robert Downey Jr.
Kenny, he has a Jess. I think you have a Jess Cootie, right?
Yeah, Jess has been up.
Yeah, she's been up there before.
I have
Kenny.
Jess, Kyle, Greg. I need Benny Mac.
You need Benny Mac, yeah. Who is not Rob Orich.
No. Good call on that. But do you like the old school whistle with Orich?
I like it feels like an old ball coach.
Yeah, he's just an old ball coach.
You know?
Yeah. They had a deal yesterday where
Haas says wait till he searches Barry White.
Another so there's multiple Ally McBeal references in there. Barry White used to do the song.
Oh, really?
One of the songs as part of the bit in Ally McBeal. And Robert Downey Jr. infamously played Ally McBeal's boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That was early on the comeback trail for him.
Yeah, it was. It was because I always wondered if he was going to make it to the next shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sang a great song on Ally McBeal. He played the piano. He pretended to be in a bar. And it was his ex-wife. She played Shane, who's the Marvel character that when she loses her mind, like she can't control her powers?
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
Nope.
Oh,
X-Men.
Oh, Jean Grey.
Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So was it Mia Frankie or whatever her name is? That was his ex-wife in Ally McBeal.
Oh, yeah.
And when he fell in love with Ally, and he sang this song. I think it's called "The River."
Mm-hmm.
But it was an amazing song.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm coming home for Christmas, cutting down the tree. No, it was a good song.
Yeah.
Like if I played it for you, you'd be like, oh, DB, that's pretty good.
I got you. I haven't heard it.
All right, that's my Ally McBeal spot. So there's the second half hour in the first hour. We just flip-flopped.
Husker P says, I'm a dude pretending to be another dude, pretending to be another dude.
Yeah, that movie is pretty funny. Yeah, that was not on the reel in my cultural training sensitivity class.
Famke Janssen, I think is the name.
Famke Janssen?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Kel
Who did I say?
She was a Bond girl.
Mia
Frankie?
There is a Mia that sort of looks like her. It's like Mila.
Yeah,
Mia
that's
something.
That's who it is. Yeah, I like Famke.
No, she was really good as Jean Grey.
I
haven't seen her in it. Isn't she the mom in Taken?
I think she is. So you talking about Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Because there are so many Takens now. It's
the original, the OG. I think she's the mom.
Yeah,
in Taken.
that was in 3 when she got killed.
Spoiler, damn.
Sorry, statute of limitations.
Juan wants to know if we can get listener heads.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
I'm sure we could.
How would I do that?
They'd have to submit us their pictures.
So we have a couple.
Do we?
Yeah, from the quarterback draft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we've got TK. We've got is it KB? Where's KB been?
Yeah, where's Kyle been?
Been out on us.
I don't know.
Rick says taken 10.
I mean, basically.
I know.
Basically.
Just keep printing those things.
Kenny,
he also wanted you to play. He wanted you back at running back.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I would 2 carries. That'd be sensational.
Yeah.
That'd be about it. That'd be about it. Two for 15, and I'm going home.
You're not suing the state for more eligibility?
No. At 51. About to be 52.
How you feeling?
Like 51.
Yeah. Not a day over 51.
Well, I'm not. You can bring me a drink Monday. 1 ginger ale diet.
1 ginger ale?
Canada Dry, please. I don't do Schweppes.
I'll see what I can do.
Big Canada Dry guy. White can, in case you're looking for the aesthetic.
Well, yeah, it'll be March by then. You all right? You gonna be okay?
That's fine.
I award you no points.
Who moved
and
my
may God
magazine?
have mercy on your soul.
I don't know. I think so. Maybe I'm guessing Sasha did so you could see it better.
Oh,
I think it was kind of hidden behind you.
I didn't want to see me. It was just down there for me.
I like me.
Shut up.
Oh, I like the Roger Craig one a lot though. Big Roger Craig guy.
Yeah, I love him.
Go Niners.
Not that.
Well, he's wearing that's a Niners uniform.
Yeah, I
right
understand
there.
what uniform he's in.
Go Niners.
No, it's not
No?
what that picture's about.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You seem like you're a really big 49ers fan.
They're fine.
Yeah. You don't hate them.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, they were fine. My dad's a Ronnie Lott guy, so
Well, USC.
that made it work.
Yeah.
I wonder why he didn't make me like Minnesota or stuff like Dennis Smith and.
I mean, I feel like being a Minnesota fan would have been much worse for you than being a Steelers fan.
I mean, they're all flipping Trojans.
I know, but
which, by the way, can I get a sleeve for this thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just out on DB having a mic muff.
Yeah, you don't get any.
Suave. It's a funny. It's like a little kid. I mean, maybe
You can't say that word in front of Rico.
What?
Mike.
Well, maybe.
All right, Shane. I called it that once. I'm not doing it again, Austin. That was back in my former life.
Yeah, you gotta. No, you're fine. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I took more liberties then, but I have way more freedom now. Oh, FCC.
FCC won't let me be
100%.
big M&M guy.
Yeah. What time's the presser? 10:30?
I think so.
I didn't read the email.
12:30.
12:30?
I know.
Well, even that's later in the day. I was walking down trying to get this powder to knock off the shine during the break. Would you rather go 6 to 6 or like 8 to 8?
For like my day?
Yeah.
8 to 8.
Okay.
6 to 6 is, I mean, 6 to 6 would be a struggle for me.
I used to look at like Gabe's schedule on like that Live 360. I was like, how's this dude still at the stadium?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you give me my preference, I'd probably go 9 to 9.
9 to 9.
Like I'd go, yeah, I think probably 9 to 9 is my sweet spot.
That might be about what it is.
Because 8 to 8,
9 to 9.
I'm not a morning person. I know what I do for a living, but like I'm not a morning person. So if I like 9 to 9 means I don't have to get up that early and I can still be.
I mean,
ready.
because you're going to put in minimum 10 hours.
Yeah, I like if
the good ones will get to 12.
I can expect. I'm totally okay expecting to put in a 10 to 12 hour workday between class, practice, whatever else. I'm cool. But if I can start it 9 to 9, my chances of being.
I'm sorry, it's 12 o'clock and 12:30 for the players.
Oh, I thought she was saying
she was starting
noon. Yeah, noon to midnight. I was like, damn, Abe. Thanks, Abe. Joe Good, you're 6A to 6B guy?
Apparently.
6 a.m. is fine.
I'm not a morning person. Like,
I mean, I go 5 to 12 probably.
That thing well, that's because you don't sleep at all. So that's
it's an unprecedented low.
Really?
I am a miserable soul. Like we're going on this is a bad 3-week stretch.
Jam Potato does not wake me up at 4 a.m.
Dude, how did Bella and Potato do?
Potato did not like Bella. Bella wanted to play.
I'm out on Potato. How's that fat cat gonna be a bully?
It wasn't a bully. He just ran away. He's like, I don't want to deal with this. He just hid.
Out there looking like Heathcliff.
More of a Garfield myself.
Fudge.
No, Potato was just like, nah, I'm cool.
Wait, how are you gonna go 5 to 5?
That's wild.
You can't shut your day down at 5.
I mean, so that's kind of what Natasha does. She doesn't like shut it down. I mean,
yeah, I could see that though.
Yeah, with being a pastry chef, like she gets to work by 5.
5 to 5.
So she wakes up like 3:45. She gets to work.
And you
by
still
5.
ask for her to cook?
I don't ask.
Yeah,
I'm more than happy.
Do something.
I can't cook.
Well, we know that.
I'm more than happy to, like, if she doesn't want to cook, which I've never asked her to. I'm like, we'll just go out to eat. We're cool.
I need to go back to this cat thing.
Yeah.
Your cat is 3 times Bella's size.
I know.
That's a 30-pound cat, right?
He's, I think last time we went, he's like 16.
No way.
He's fluffy. He's real fluffy.
That's what fat people say.
We weighed him last time we was at the vet. He's like 16 pounds.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying it's well distributed, but.
Speaking of which, did you ever officially answer your spring game quarantine locked in the room?
Oh, which room I get to see?
Yeah. Have you changed?
So I've
Have you changed?
I I think so. I have. I think I did because I think I started D-line.
Yeah.
And I think I'm landing on, I don't know. So I'm fascinated to see.
Jeez, TK.
Emotionally.
Just kind of want to give him a Ric Flair chop sometimes. just, God, he's a terror.
I want to see kind of emotionally and leadership wise what the D-line room looks like, because I think that might be the single biggest variable on the defense right now. Is if the players in that room, because like, listen, I'll either die on the hill or somebody can kill me on it. I still think that's a talented group.
Yeah.
I thought it last year.
They're significantly better than they showed last year. I agree with you there.
I thought they were good last year. I got killed for it, rightfully so, whatever. I still think there's a good amount of talent in that room. I don't know. The biggest question for me is whether or not we will see them play up to their talent level, because we didn't last year. So if I can get a sense of what the tone of that room is, that might be the place where in a vacuum where I get zero other information that I can actually learn the most, right? If I don't get to see him going up against O-line and I only get to see that room operating, I feel like I might be able to learn the most there, because I think that's the biggest variable is the tone and emotion and leadership of that room.
Yeah, I changed.
Where are you at now?
I'm going, well, they were 1A, but they're not 1.
D-line?
No, linebackers.
Linebackers. So linebackers is the other one that I was considering flipping it with. I don't know if I can learn as much in a vacuum from that group as I can from the D-line. So that's my debate. I am fascinated by the linebackers though. So that's why it's a question for me, because I want to see Chambliss. I want to see.
Is defense the first 3 stops? You going on all 3 levels of the defense before you do anything on the offense?
Yes, because I don't need to see quarterbacks throw on air. That does nothing for me. If you can't throw on air, like, I'm out anyway. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't get contact, if I don't get live snaps, if I don't get going up against corners, like, I can learn nothing from the quarterback room. And that's the only place.
I would imagine that quarterback room is incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, because who's laying down in that room?
You know what I get a sense, though? This is just pure vibes. I have no information here. I think they kind of get along, though.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Like, I get a sense that they all get along pretty well.
Kalen can get along with anybody.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about him at all. And then I don't know, just
Latif's good-natured. I don't know Calandria like that yet.
Yeah.
You know, we're working on all these features for the network and for pregame and stuff. And Kyle kind of has an affinity for QBs. And I'm like, be interesting. And a get to know you, because he has so much experience, and it's not always been rainbows and butterflies. So he'd be an interesting personality.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled at Virginia. He obviously was really, really good at UNLV. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by that room. I just don't think I can learn anything from the scenario.
Yeah,
that I'm given in
not running backs, huh?
Not sure I can learn.
They are fascinating.
Not sure I can learn a ton in that scenario from running backs either. Like, unless I get to see them live, I don't know how much I can learn. You probably can learn more from that room than I can, just because I don't know. Like, outside of live, I don't know what I'm looking for in the same way.
Do you think you can't unknow what you know? And we'll get to the combine here in a second, because this leads me into how he's going to perform. Do you feel like you're more excited about a running back in that room than you were Emmett Johnson preseason last year?
Yes.
It's exciting.
I appreciate you being honest.
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to go back and be like, I know there was a lot of people that were high on Emmett. I thought the room was fine.
If I didn't see 1500 coming, nobody else did either.
I thought coming into the season,
because I was the honk.
Yeah. You and TK's been on EJ, and like, there's a couple guys that have been on Emmett for a while. You've been as vocal and adamant that he was good as anybody. I thought the room was just fine. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was just fine. And Emmett obviously turned out to be incredible and vaulted himself off draft boards, and I'm incredibly happy for him. And it was super fun to watch him last year. But coming into this year, I probably like Nelson more than I liked EJ.
Why aren't you as excited? Why aren't you excited, TK?
Because he loved Emmett Johnson. He loved it.
Oh, I know.
So,
I
like,
know.
anything is a drop-off, right? Like, that's how I take it. It's just anything would be a drop-off.
I
for
got
TK.
a guy that fits his temperament, though.
With Mackay?
I've got a guy that fits TK's temperament.
Oh, yeah.
Mosey would be a TK guy.
So that's the other that's why I have to honestly say I'm more excited about this room than I was last year. And not to saying that the results will be whatever, but just in terms, like, I love Mosey. You know this.
He would be a TK guy.
I love Mosey. I don't know why. I've been, especially after they moved him to running back, I've been absolutely enamored with the idea of him because of some of the things and how, like, he runs so hard.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's easy for me to play favorites,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more on a personal level than like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Caleb about practice yesterday, and I'm like, hey, such and such and such and such. He's like, yeah, coach pulled me to the side. He's like, hey, don't grab, right? Because Coach Rhule is and it's music to my ears, right? Form tackling and fitting, like. If they're not taking guys to the ground, like, and I say this all the time to our guys, so I'm like, preach it, baby, preach it, because it's how guys get hurt, where you kind of grab or you pull or you tug when guys, they get snapped back or down. And he goes, hang on. I'm watching this thing with Mackay. I go, oh, you and Mackay are watching film together? He said, no, I got, it was a screenplay and they thought I grabbed him, but I didn't. I'm just making sure that I was right. And I was like, ooh, which one of my kids do I side with? I was like, look, man, leave Mackay. Like, keep that guy healthy. Yeah, I copped to a Mackay misdemeanor.
No, I like.
I've eaten more with Mackay lately than I have Caleb, so advantage Nelson.
Whose choice is that?
Caleb's.
Okay.
That's why he's out. Give me Mackay.
Out the club. I like the room. I'm more excited about the room. And obviously, if I had known if I had known what Emmett was going to be, like, that's a different answer. But like,
what about tight ends?
Tight ends, I'm cautiously.
I'm going to the tight
optimistic.
end room before I'm going to the O line.
Oh, I'm not going to the O line. O
At all?
line's like last.
Behind wide receivers?
Second to last after wide receivers.
I'm fascinated because I told you who the get of the recruiting class was.
On O line?
Yeah, no.
Oh, a tight end. Yeah, Sorensen.
Yes.
Yeah. You big Sorensen guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching that film with Jess and I was like, we were getting ready for the recruiting special. And I'm like, and I said it's a Tim in November. I'm like, Sorensen's good.
Yeah.
He's way good.
Yeah. They see, I mean, I know Dana got asked about him specifically, but like, he seems like a guy. I got to know what the rotation looks like at tight end.
Well, he was a lineman first. That was the thing that I was fawning over. Because I just watched him in space. I mean, we literally just broke down film.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy moves like an agile tackle.
Yeah. Which you don't see that go from offensive line to tight end very often. You see it go the other way.
Yeah, the other way.
Right? Where tight end eats his way or like
into
builds
being
his
a
way
tackle.
into being a tackle. But you don't very often see the tackle be athletic enough to move to tight end at the next level as he moves his way up. So that is fascinating. I don't know. I like pass catching tight ends, but there's something about tight ends that can give you an advantage, like on the offensive line, basically.
Yeah, I'm fascinated because I want to see the schemes, right? Are we sticking with a ton of duo? We talked wanting to be a counter team, like counter. Like, are tight ends inserting? Are you guard tackle? Are you some variation of between guard tackle, tight end? Like, the tight end room is fascinating to me because those guys have typically always get better, which is why I was a little bit disappointed that
it's my bad on
Carter's missing the spring.
So talk to me about duo versus counter and the tight end roles in those specific schemes. Is it
duo? Typically, you're doubling at the point of the play side.
Right.
Counter, you can use a tight end as like a second puller.
So that's what I like
across the formation.
Right. So that's what I like. I personally, maybe it's just an aesthetics thing. Maybe it's because of watching you guys growing up. Like, I like pullers.
Yeah.
I
mean, the good running backs like 42 counter sweep. It's outside.
Yeah.
The average guy is like 42 or 48 counter trap.
The inside counter.
That's inside counter. That's what I like.
Like Amon just wanted to get outside and run.
Hey, listen, LP has one against, was it Colorado State or maybe Wyoming, where Zach Weger runs about a quarter of a mile from backside to front side on 48 counter sweep, and it is so pretty.
Yeah.
And you see this 72 like running like this fluid athlete, and then you see this one behind him kind of just reading an alignment, blocking guys in space. AG was a counter sweep guy. But 42 counter trap was what scored against Vatek. You see Taylor just smoke the puller.
Yeah.
Or the
pull and
taking on
taking
on the puller, right?
Yeah.
He got a little too vertical. Taylor ear holes a guy. Like the crease was so it's like running between these two cameras.
Yeah. Just get skinny in the hole and get through.
Yeah, man. But you just trust those guys, like, and it's such a quick hitter. I'll be curious, and you can use a lot of you can throw out of it too. Just watch SC.
Yeah.
Go watch USC. Now, hopefully we got a Woody Marks.
Yeah.
Or somebody like that. But SC's counter game is Utah's got a good one. It is, because I'm not like a huge outside zone guy.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna scrap a run, a running style, like I would ditch outside zone.
Yeah.
You do have to find a way to get to the edges, but I mean, because inside zone and duo are different things. Counters obviously counter. I'm not a huge outside zone guy.
What's the this might be a very dumb question before we get to BC. What's the difference between stretch and outside zone?
It's the same thing.
Okay. It's
basically the same thing. For us, we didn't really call it outside zone. We called it like 41, 49 outside, or
because stretch is like the Kyle Shanahan, like that's all they run basically.
Because
and everything works off of the stretch concept.
Even all the
wrinkles.
It's a very tough scheme to defend if you're good at it, because it all looks the same.
Yes.
Iowa is very good with outside zone.
Yeah.
Right? Because all your linemen step the same. So, if I'm the defender and I'm trying to read high hat, like everything looks like this from a lineman standpoint. It's the same thing that that Brent was talking about with North Dakota State, where you don't get a true kick.
Yeah.
From linemen.
Like on a pass pro.
On a pass pro.
Yeah.
It all looks run actiony because it's off of outside. Mostly run actions.
Yeah.
Right. So it tinkers with the defense, because when you're teaching D-line, there's only a couple of things that they can do. If you're going to read the V of the neck, either their head goes down, it goes up, or it comes to you.
Yeah.
Right. So those are the three things that you're looking at. So when we're trying to critique how D-line is playing, the more an offensive line can make things look the same
and disguise what they're doing,
the harder it is.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Good stuff there. Let's take a quick break. We will get to Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. Let's start at Sports Live.
Yeah, I think the maybe the biggest adjustment in today's football is that you're not really building off the previous year's team. I mean, it's kind of a brand new team every single year, and so everybody, whether they were here before, or whether they're coming in as a freshman or coming in from another school, they all have to sort of adapt into each other. I think from the very first moment that I met Anthony, when he got out of the car with his parents on the visit, you could tell that there's something special about him. Right? He's a dynamic player with a great personality, very affable. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you want your quarterback to probably walk a little bit different than everybody else. He has a lot on his shoulders, but be one of the guys. And I think Anthony's done that really, really well.
Yeah, they've been really hectic, really busy, doing a lot of stuff, with my family, trying to hang out with them, be around them. Obviously, funeral and stuff like that. But then obviously, traveling with these guys, practicing every day, class, homework, all that. It's been really busy, hectic, but yeah, it's we're getting it done and working through that. Yeah, I got a lot of good people around me, my teammates, coaches. They've given me time to be away, step away, and take time that I need to kind of be other places that are also important for me to be at. And yeah, they've helped me tremendously. And when I'm here, it's you can laugh and joke. Basketball kind of takes your mind off a lot.
Yeah, they're playing their best basketball this season, and they've won 3 out of 5, and have had some really good wins in that stretch. Beat Iowa, won on the road at Minnesota, and then knocked off Washington in their last one. And it's a team that you can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they play with a lot of energy and swagger. They're tough, they're physical. They got guys that are shooting the ball well right now. Mills has taken his game to a whole different level, averaging over 24 points in the last 4. Coit has 2 40-plus point games this year. Adams is a double figures scorer for them. Washington, we know him from when we played A&M a couple years ago, just really, really tough, aggressive, 6 offensive rebounds in the last game. And, this is a team that's, again, they're playing really well. Saunders is a guy that can really get it going from the outside as well, and they've got good role players. So I've been really impressed with the way that they've been playing in their recent stretch, and we're going to have our hands full tomorrow night.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Here is Husker 24/7 senior writer Brian Christopherson.
Yeah, you got guys and walking into Ace Hardware without their shirts on.
Brian Christopherson.
We got a pretty good sewing circle in this state.
Brian Christopherson.
To me, it's like crunch time, baby.
Here is Brian Christopherson.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports headquarters, and we are joined now by Brian Christopherson of Husker 24/7. BC, how are we doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you guys?
I'm pretty good, man. I think things are good with you. Are you ready for this little mini couple-day warm-up?
Yeah, I'm ready for today. Today's beautiful. You get a little press conference at noon with football, little hoops at 6 p.m. Yeah, it keeps me on my toes, so I got no complaints.
Are you cautiously optimistic? Are you confident? Dare I say nervous as Maryland comes to town?
I'm confident in the fellas that they've got their heads on right, and I know there was the little flu bug that's been going around and got Jamarcus as the last guy, but I don't know. This has seemed like a team that stays dialed in and doesn't overlook anybody. I don't think they've lost a game or anything like that because of lack of preparation. So, I like when you hear a guy like Cale Jacobson say, no matter what the records are, we always want to be the most desperate team. You got to play like the most desperate team. And I kind of think they're going to come out like that. Now, I have some respect that Maryland's turned it up a notch, and I think Maryland's going to look really good in the layup line tonight. But I feel okay about it.
BC, as we get into, I'll start with Nebraska football here. As we get into more availability, like what are some things you're thinking about as you try and figure out what to ask the coaches here?
Yeah, it's good, Ravi. It'll be interesting today. I think Maher is going to be one of the guys talking, and like each guy probably has their different angle. With Brett Maher, I covered him back when he was a kicker punter here at Nebraska, and I was always struck by his even keel. And something Matt Rhule said last week kind of stood out to me about Brett is like, that's a guy who obviously he's taking on a position where you can take some arrows sometimes if you have a bad week or your group doesn't live up to expectations. But you talk about a guy who is sort of built for it. When you think about how much he was under the microscope as a professional kicker and ups and downs that go with that, and he had some great moments, had some tough moments, and you show up the next day and try to do it better. And then the fact that he was surrounded by all these really good special teams coordinators throughout his career. I'm just kind of curious from him about that, like having that mindset that was instilled in him as a player about how to deal with the ups and downs and keep it level, and also what he learned from all those guys that he's been in the room with. So he comes to mind, with those, and then with Corey Brown and Roy Manning. It'll just be interesting to hear about sort of their connection with Coach Orich and how that is in Corey Brown's case, it was 3 or 4 years since he worked with him, but how you can maybe kind of pick up just on the same stride as a guy, even if you've had some time apart, and how you speak the same language. I'm kind of curious about that with him.
So BC, you're kind of looking at this thing with special teams, and are you more interested when the toe meets the leather, or Nebraska on the receiving end of when toe meets leather?
Come again with that?
Are you more interested when they're kicking off or punting, or when they're returning the football?
I don't know if I've thought about that. I have one over the other. I mean, I just want consistency there. The thing that stood out last year about them that you want to see just continue to take off, and there's other things they can do better. I agree with Matt Rhule when he says like there's some parts of special teams where, especially at the end of the year, they can make improvements. So it wasn't like it was all locked down. But the one thing I do like that felt consistent to me for the most part is how they cover kicks and sort of the system they have for that. And so just their ability to continue with that. I mean, we were like 7 or 8 games into the season last year, guys, and the opposing team had like 1 punt return yard or something like that. And I like how that just became like a non-issue. Now Iowa has the special kid back there, and he got loose a couple times, and I kind of tip my hat to him. I just think he's kind of a unique guy. But I really love how that was in control. And so I guess to your question, I'm curious, like, as far as their return game, sort of where they go with it. Obviously, it's going to be a different look with Kenneth Williams, isn't there anymore. And, obviously, Ja'Cory was handling it in the bowl game. And sometimes their philosophy, like I've always been a guy who prior to Eckler was like, hey, wave your hand and take that thing at the 25-yard line. They give it to you for free, and don't give up those 7 to 8 yards that are, I think, pivotal. And sometimes last year they made the most of being aggressive, and then at the end it backfired on them. So it'll be interesting hearing like Maher maybe go into that a little bit, like his thoughts on, when to wave the hand on the return game, when not to, and some of the decision making back there that there is room for improvement. They cost themselves some field position at times. And even early in the year, I think, Ja'Cory, I love Ja'Cory, but he caught that one at the 2-yard line against Michigan, and it was a pivotal moment there. So it's stuff like those that I think you got to go through with the fine-tooth comb and say, even though everybody kind of patted you on the back last year for how it was on special teams, there's plenty to still pick at and find, like, this can be at a better level.
Yeah, so BC, in our latest round of Ravi doesn't know African American football players without a helmet. How interested were
That's so
you?
Ravi too, yeah. That sounds like Ravi, really. Yep.
Because
I don't know the
I
white
had to
one.
tell him that this wasn't really.
I don't know the
Andrew
white ones
Marshall.
either.
So as you look at Jameer Khan, like when you hear Coach talk about the Khans, the Mario Bufords, some other guys that can fit roles in different positions, kind of on this team that he's interested in seeing? Coach Rhule teased, introducing Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson, in the off season. When you hear guys like Khan and Buford and some of these guys, do you allow yourself to think like glass half full, or is it like, another opportunity for some guys to kind of establish their role?
Another opportunity right now. I'm kind of in that way with all the guys, but like Jameer Khan, just take him. That one makes all the sense in the world to me, because ever since he got here, whatever I've heard from other players about him is that dude is like all ball. He's just a worker, and
He doesn't say a ton, that's for sure.
yeah, I mean, he really has the respect of his teammates. Like you saw on special teams, he was a real buy-in guy. Obviously, he delivered the block punt against Michigan State. And after the bowl game, I mean, this is like within a half hour of losing, 44-22. Rhule was in the post game, and it was kind of a big picture post game, kind of looking forward. And he was talking about guys that Orich, can fit his defense. And he name dropped Jameer Khan right then and there. And I was like, okay, if that's coming up like within a half hour after the bowl game, he's going to be a guy to watch in the spring. And then sure enough, Rob Orich brings him up last week. And I thought Rob Orich was excellent at the mic for his first time in that setting. He gave thorough answers, but he didn't just like accept the premise of a question all the time. I always respect that.
Yeah,
guys.
He's not going to just go along with it, is he?
Yes, and I like that a lot. Like for instance, I asked, and I'm getting away from your question a little bit, but I asked a question about Chambliss and McDougal coming in from San Diego State, and I beat myself up about questions and stuff, the way I phrase stuff. Like I'll beat myself up like 6 hours later, like, you should have said that a little differently. And I used the word mentor, like in talking about those guys, like just because they'd, been around the system. And I just meant like guys who, could teach a little bit. And I like that he kind of corrected that word a little bit. Like, and I just use that as an example to say, like, he knows that those guys can help a lot, yes, in getting some things across to others, but they're also new here too and have to prove their keep in this new program and amongst their new teammates and all that. And his answer really hit on all the angles of that in a very succinct way and didn't just go along with the wording of the question. And so I thought that's good. Like I can see like within even that 10 to 15 minutes, like why he's viewed as like a good communicator, because he's doing it at a high level in this setting, and it says a lot. So that got away from your question, but that kind of popped into my head as I was rambling there.
No, you know what though? I can go with that. That's why I like listening to you, because you're right. I remember his almost his exact answer. He said, I don't know so much about mentoring as much as they know how to. He's got familiarity with how to practice. And the cool thing about that is he said everybody has their own leadership attributes, right? So not only is he like getting inside the question and the actual verbiage, he's empowering other guys too to the positive of their skill sets without saying, "Oh, I'm not penciling him in as a starter. I'm just telling you like he knows what he's doing." So he set the standard of reframing the question, but he also empowered the other guys too. Like, hey man, like let's not implying here that you got to take a back seat. We're all in this together. Like I remember that answer specifically.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I asked the question in a kind of ill-mannered way that allowed that. So, yeah.
I don't think that was.
No. I thought so too. I actually, right when he answered it and kind of shifted that, I was like, I like that. Like I like, people will think that this isn't the way. They think like a reporter always thinks like he asked some great question. I think I ask a lot of stupid stuff or stuff where it's like, I didn't quite get that out how I wanted to, much like I am on radio segments. But I like when a coach or player has his own mind on it. He's like, okay, I'm listening to you, but okay, this is what I want to say. And this is, we're not just going to go down the lane you want to go with that. And I thought he was very good at that in the press conference, and talked about there's a lot of guys who can lead on this team. It's not obviously just the guys we brought in here, from San Diego State, and does empower other guys, and he was informative too. That was an informative opening press conference to me. Like, there was, the fact that he isn't shy to say, like, yeah, Jameer Khan has traits that we like, and like sort of that nickel role, is that was like really interesting to me, like getting inside, like, kind of like how it starts, at least with who's out there first at certain spots, but then also not acting like that guy's in pen or anything. It's pencil right now, and guys are going to have to earn it. But there was information that was you could take from it.
BC, if you got 30 minutes with a position coach, so none of the coordinators, just a position coach, which guy would you choose and why?
Okay, I'm thinking through that. Man, there's a definite good one. Addison Williams kind of pops into my head first off. And maybe the reason is because he's been around the guys for a year now. He's seen he saw what happened last year up close, so he can give you that frame of reference. I take it the question is like a coach who might kind of like you're sitting at the bar stool, and he would maybe tell you some things between you and him. And I just think Addison could be interesting, just like, having been through it last year, getting a look at sort of the guys that were in that room. I think ultra competitive secondary this year, as far as how it's going to play out. And so for those reasons, I would probably pick him. But boy, that's a tough question. It's a good question, because you could, it's like a 1A, 1B, 1C kind of answer.
You know what's interesting? You know who I would kind of say, just because of the dynamics of his role, and we haven't seen or heard much from him. I may go with Teasley.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Right? From kind of being out in front.
Yeah.
One of the guys, preeminent used to be conference. And, kind of his role with Coach Wade, because I listened to Coach Rhule pretty carefully, and it seemed like he was very clear in the design of the room. And, Coach Wade does this, and this is Coach Wade's room, and Coach Wade, and this is what Coach Teasley does over here to the side with the. I thought it was, I don't know if it was oddly specific, but it was very specific in terms of the line of question that was in response to the line of question that was asked. I may go with Teasley.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 punch on paper,
anything, right?
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, as far as what could you get done in like your first 2 to 3 months on the job, people can say, oh, you're always positive, you're more positive than not, but it's been positive with those guys since they got here. Like, if you think about Jeep and Lonnie, and the portal work they did help do, obviously Lonnie had that connection with Tree, but then you hear like Pat Stewart and Rhule talk about like Jeep and his how he helped with Mubanga, who went on visits after he was in Lincoln, and you're like, okay, the meter's swinging the other way on us, we're not going to get him, and Jeep just wouldn't let it happen. Those guys together, and the relationship that they have, which goes back like 10 years, it sounds like, where they talked in the off season a lot about ball and recruiting and like how you do this and that. They've kind of found a natural fit with those two guys who did not have to catch up to get to know each other. That's already established. And so that would be a good one, because he could give a lot of insights from his angle, and also, like, honestly, from what they're trying to do together as a pair, because he knows Jeep already pretty well.
Yeah, I'm probably going to cheat here. I want Corey Brown and Roy Manning. I just want to see the dynamic there on the defensive line and see what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the more fascinating groups, and where they take it, and that one makes a lot of sense too. So it's like I said, to your question, it's a good one, because you feel like there's like 4 or 5 answers, and Honestly, there's more than that. A guy could say someone we haven't mentioned and probably convince me that that's not bad either.
BC, when we're kind of, we'll get some eyes on spring and in particular, like the spring game. And one of the thoughts about the quarterback race is I think sometimes people think, hey, it's a foregone conclusion. AC wasn't brought here to be a backup. Nebraska quickly pivoted. We don't have real insight into what that discussion was like after the MITCH thing went south in a hurry. I actually believe it's a legit quarterback battle. I'm not worried about who I can convince of that or not. How much do you think we can separate the style of play at quarterback in which the three guys will kind of represent from Coach Holgorsen, or will it be in addition to what we think of Coach Holgorsen?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think I just think people are really curious, like how this changes what Holgorsen can do, and if we've maybe seen the best of what Holgorsen can do yet, because he was, and I don't want to always bring it back to the old stuff, but maybe the feeling that he was a little handicapped, by the fact you don't quite have as much mobility at a position and a level of football where I feel like it's really necessary. And so now that you have like a room of guys where, no one's Michael Vick out there, but you feel like I think all three of them really are capable, like on that 3rd down and 5 play. If you had to call a quarterback draw or whatever, you thought you could get a defense with it, they can go get you the 10 yards. And Calandria kind of seems as fast as he needs to be when I watch him on film, which I love guys like that, where it's just like whatever he needs on that play to get kind of around that linebacker or whatever. He kind of has that. So Dana, I guess I'm just curious, how that opens up the bag a little bit more for him, possibly. And also in the passing game, if you have a QB that can buy you another couple of ticks, and your receivers know that, and they just keep going, what that can do as far as opening the downfield passing game, where it's not all just about 1, 2, 3, what happened within the rhythm of those 3 seconds, but the play extends a little longer and the receivers are in on it. And just, I'm really interested how they can develop. I don't want to call it freelancing, but sort of those plays where there's an extension of the first read or two, and what that could do to the passing game with those type of quarterbacks, and what Dana can do with that. So that's kind of what I think about.
BC, I'm curious what you think here, because I was adamant last year that more often than not, and I did the exercise. I got the stopwatch out, the phone stopwatch, and measured how many seconds Dylan had to throw on most of the times that he got sacked, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this exercise. And I'm like, yeah, I think he had enough time to throw. I think he just wasn't getting rid of the ball. What do you think is more important with a quarterback that is more mobile, that they can buy the extra time, or that they keep the defense honest a little bit, where they're not able to cheat a little and have to honor the running game, whether you take off or not? Which one of those two things do you think is more impactful to whoever wins the job?
I think both, but I would say to pick one, to keep them honest, just the threat of it, that it always is in the back of your head, oh, we got to mark that too. I think that may add such a difficulty. And so, I mean, I do think you play kind of with a hand behind your back when you don't have that. I just do at this level. Now you can, if you have the right quarterback and the right parts around it, that can be fine, and you can succeed at a high level without having the QB's feet be a threat. But I think because of what you're asking there, it makes such a big deal when I think about this when Nebraska's facing that type of quarterback, how much that stresses a defense out going into a game, and how much oxygen we spend on it in a week before a game against that type of quarterback. So let's flip that on the other side, right? So I mean that's what I would say.
I mean, we remember all the Malik Washington conversations, right? And the Aiden Childs and everything else. I don't think we thought Brennan Sorsby was that mobile going into it, and we were wrong. But like we remember all those conversations, right? And so your point is well taken there, BC. So I don't know if this is, I don't know how nerdy you get in terms of like wanting to deep dive on projects, but because you work for a recruiting service in 24/7, this might be something you have unique insight to. I've sort of done this anecdotally because you brought up something about in this day and age in college football needing that mobile element. I've sort of done this anecdotally with really highly ranked quarterbacks. I stopped at only 5 stars.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
But the guys that are not mobile, their bust rate is incredibly high.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have data on that or if you feel like doing a little research project or whatever, but like I think that's one of the things that we don't differentiate very much between. We're like, oh, he's a 5-star, but it's like that's a different type of 5-star than some of these other guys that move around, and like your Justin Fields, for instance, who I would still consider a drop back passer, right? Like Justin Fields, I consider a pocket passer, but was still very mobile, you know? And when you don't have that element, man, like there's not that many of them, of just true drop back passers. And B, the bust rate anecdotally over the last like 10 years is astronomical.
That's really interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a good story from Maher June, to be honest. It does.
Well, feel free to use it.
No, it does. Because I don't know. It feels like so often it's not going to go exactly like it is drawn up on the grease board. You know, it's there. You have to be able to have some improvisation out there. And so that's one part of it. But then, yeah, the second part is a defense has to always honor that. And it just, I think, complicates their world all week, like preparing for that type of quarterback. And it does probably give young QBs who have a lot of weight on their shoulders, who were those 5-star types, like sort of a safety net sometimes, where like think of how many weekends are determined by like, okay, there's a 3rd down play where a guy was able to scramble on 3rd and 7 and get 9 yards. We saw it a little bit with Latif when he was healthy. Like it was kind of a breath of fresh air to that season where he would just go run around a guy and get 10 yards. We saw this at UCLA, and you're like, okay, that's kind of nice to have that luxury, and it keeps the drive going. And then Emmett Johnson scores like 3 plays later, you know, and so that ends up being a really positive drive for that quarterback. And everybody's talking about what a great game he had. And you could maybe go back to 1 or 2 plays within it if you really look closely and be like, oh, yeah, there was that 3rd down where his feet allowed that thing to keep going and build up that narrative of having a good game. So I have to think that doesn't surprise me what you're saying, but it would be good to look into.
Yeah, we get so fascinated with like points per game and stuff like this for offenses. But, you know, if the number one thing I think for this offense in the offseason is got to be it. Maybe it's not one, but top 2, 3 is figuring out how to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Yes.
Right. It's somewhere in the same discussion as second halves or third quarters in terms of continuing offensive efficiency. But I think just the ability to get 6 and not 3 would be monumental if you can only add 1 more touchdown per game in those red zone trips, because you've proven you can move the ball from the 32 to 30.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then you would think, you know, QB run threat down there could be of use that maybe gives you, you know, you talk about those precious points, like maybe a QB run is 1 or 2 touchdowns this year, you know, in the red zone. But that 1 or 2 is what puts you over the top in one of those games that you win by 3 instead of losing by 4 type of situation. Some of the stuff Jeep, Wade, and Lonnie, whatever they can come up with as far as like the run game down there. And, you know, I know like at least back in December, Rhule mentioned like some of the counter stuff and things that Jeep did at Georgia Tech, and maybe being able to transfer some of that over here, and also how that could be useful in the red zone. Like all that stuff is searching for I guess the phrase Rhule used last week, and probably is the phrase of the offseason over there, is searching for edges. And so I imagine this spring there's going to be a lot of that with what you're talking about with the red zone. Like, what are those 2 or 3 edges we can get that maybe we didn't have a season ago down there? Because it could really flip. It can flip a game and it can flip a season if they could be more successful there.
Yeah, just one more touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not monumental. You get there enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it almost kind of became like a running bit. And if they can continue to move it when they get down there, like, I mean, that's the whole key. They figured out a way to take better care of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You figured out a way to get penalties down. Like, I mean, you need 6s and not 3s. That's a few more 6s than 3 attempts, or coming up empty, period.
Do you have, this is separate, but do you have a guy or two, Damon, that that people haven't been thinking about or talking about kind of as the spring starts that's like really interesting you? Like sort of I don't know. It's just like he hasn't been the main focus of conversation, but people shouldn't sleep on.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that at 9. I'll give you 2 that I like. I'll stay on offense. I think Gilmer is a great addition. Kind of flying under the radar, and I'm telling you, and it's not just because I like him, but keep an eye on Ingerson.
Okay.
I like the tight end room. I know what guys thought about practicing against him last year. And I think he's ready to take the next step. And quietly, Coach Sat has liked him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we would have these sidebar conversations, and he'd kind of tell me guys that he thinks are coming, and he's like, "Oh, you know, he's like, wait till Ingerson figures it out, or we're just getting started." And he would just say like these little things. And then I told Ravi, I remember I told you the story at the bowl game,
mm-hmm.
where he was lifting at Gorman, and I just looked at his frame, and he's one of those guys that he's a great hugger, and he's like DB, and he's just this BC, he is a massive individual.
Yeah.
Like, just a big, strong, good-looking kid. And he's one of those guys that if he can stay dot, I think interests me with what I think Nebraska wants to do in this run game. Because, if this offensive line is as deep as it looks on paper, it's a big offensive line. If you add Lindemeyer's and Ingerson's and Echternox, I think Sorensen was the steal of the class. I said that when I don't know. Those are 2 guys that come to mind right away.
Yeah, Ingerson spent a lot of time with Lindenmeyer just together too in the off seasons. I know, and so that's got to be useful. I like the tight end room. Some people have kind of been.
I do too.
I don't know. There's been some skepticism I've heard of. Like that's one of the least of my worries on this roster. Like,
completely agree.
But yeah, that's interesting to hear.
We're gonna do a top 5.
All right,
at 9 of guys that will be good testimonies to development.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to try to blow up your segment in a half hour, but that's a preview for it.
Good tease. I don't use the word love very often, but BC, considering how I feel about you, for you I will.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. In our awkward morning moment.
That's
I want to be a good. I want to just be a good hugger like Eric Ingerson. That's what you said.
Listen, he and Teddy Prohaska, I don't know if it has to do with their size or leverage, but they are both tremendous hug guys.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
I said that. He's like, hey, I was talking to DB. You guys are boys. Because his parent, they're like my neighbors. So
okay.
There's a lot going on there. And he used to terrorize Caleb, so it's funny. So I'm cheering for him.
BC, we appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. Real quick break here.
It's going to be one of the fun spring games. I'm telling you.
Excited.
People will eye roll, but they're already out. I already talked about those people, right? They kind of have their narratives. They just kind of want to broach it topically. This will be a fantastic competitive spring. I don't know how good they're going to be, but it's going to be awful competitive.
I feel like you can learn things in the spring, and I'm excited to see it. We'll talk to Andy KENDEIGH coming up next from KETV. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live.
they've been able to keep some guys from last year that were real key players for them. Benson's playing at a high level. CJ Gunn's playing at a high level. So I think it starts there. And then they've added some good pieces. Defensively, they've been extremely sound all season long. And why they won at Seton Hall, but they played well at against St. John's on the road. They had Xavier down 18 in the second half at Xavier, lost that game. They had Villanova down 8 to 10 points in the second half at Villanova. So they've had some near misses on the road. And it's a team that I think really believes. They'd won 2 in a row, coming into that Providence game, and they're on the free throw line with a chance to win it, and unfortunately miss a couple free throws. So they're playing at a pretty high level right now.
I'd say it factored a lot for sure. When I found out, I talked to Coach Rhule about it, and I found out he was an option, and he was thinking about bringing him on board. I was all hands on. I love Coach Orich. I like his scheme, his idea, his philosophy when it comes to football. So, as soon as I heard he was coming on board, I was all hands on deck with him. I mean, as far as the football aspect, really just leveling up my game. But the biggest difference is just like I mentioned, just being more of a leader, being more vocal now that those previous leaders have moved on and are going on to do better things. It's now my time to step up and be a voice and a leader on the team.
Like I said, it's been a process. We all have to get acclimated to a new coach and a new way of doing things, but I can honestly say that it's been a smooth transition, and we're looking forward to working with him this spring, this summer, and towards the season. Yeah, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great player. He's came in with great energy, high energy, and we're still getting to know each other, but it's all been so far so good. It's been good just putting that weight room component with the on the field component, because we all know they go hand in hand. So just working in the weight room and then going out and doing drills is just making us better.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports headquarters. We are joined now by Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. AK, what's going on, buddy?
Morning, boys. How's it going?
How we doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Busy day today. Busy today.
All right. So are you just staying in, is your crew staying in Lincoln, or are you going to go and come back?
We are staying in Lincoln. Staying in Lincoln today.
So
noon start, noon kick for football, and then six tip for hoops.
So where are you going to loiter?
Well, that's up to Lauren. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's
just usurp power, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, so from 2:30 to 5. This is where everybody good with that. All right. See ya.
No. We have a 4:00 now, DB. Please tune in. I'm sure you do every day. It's a 4:00, 5:00, and so Lauren will be doing something for those shows. They haven't figured out what yet. So
you know what's interesting though is did you feel the pressure? Because I felt like all these other competitors were moving up the hour. There was one that started at 3, and then 4 was kind of the thing, and then now everybody's at 4, and I'm like, hey,
yeah,
you can only watch so much news, you guys.
Well, there's only so much news to put in, right? But
I up with you every weekend though, too.
I know. Just wait until they put in another one. Who knows? Who knows where it's going at this point? But yes, the
sports hits though that you do were like, hey, this KETV, this is your, the sports hit, that's just separate. That's you or Lauren from the day before, the day of. That's pretty slick.
Oh, that plugs into the morning. People think that we go in at 6 a.m. to do that morning hit. We do not. Here's a pro tip: we tape it after the 10.
No, AK, I know you. At no point think you were rolling.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm not saying you, DB. I'm just saying some other people around may think. It is interesting though how much news inventory there is in this town. It is, and I think that's just the trend across the country. This is not specific to Omaha because. Syndication, which normally held those spots, which would have been your Oprahs, your Kelly Clarksons of the world. Those are getting pricier and pricier, and I think it makes more business sense to just plug in another hour of news.
So, AK,
there you go.
As you're sitting watching Kelly Clarkson between 2 and 4 this afternoon,
feet up, yeah.
Maybe having a little happy hour.
Sure, Mai Tai.
While you're waiting for your 4 o'clock news to start. Do you think at any point you might get this sinking feeling of dread about this Maryland game? Because on paper you're just okay, this is Maryland. Ken Pom gives them a 95% chance to win this game. Do you think there's at any point going to be this hole or pit in your stomach going up to 6 o'clock where you're just I don't know about this one?
Yeah, but that's just me. I don't know if I think that way, and all it takes is one look at Buzz Williams. I'm like, oh, and you just flash back to Memphis a couple years ago.
It flashes back to you wanting him to loosen his collar. That's what you want.
My man's got a big neck for how tight that.
Yeah, he does. I got a history with Buzz. Buzz and I go way back to his Marquette days when he was hired there. So that man, I don't know if he still does, but he was a big time sweet tea drinker. He drank 15 a day.
Oh,
maybe not 15, but maybe he might have drank as many sweet teas as I drink Diet Cokes a day.
Talk about getting a pit in your stomach. My God.
AK, I go to lunch kind of weekly with a buddy of mine who can crush Arnold Palmer's. Just looking at him gives me the queasy.
I mean, that's impressive because the sweet tea and the Arnold Palmer's, the sugar kind of, I can handle 1 or 2, but man, that's
he can.
So I'm a big Arnold Palmer guy, but I do unsweet tea and then I do the diet lemonade. So
okay, there you go.
Ask him the particulars in it. I just know it's 4 for 4 of drinks.
Yeah,
and he gives us to a lunch, and I'm like, those don't even look good.
It's wet though. It helps you with the food. Yeah,
me and
no
my
question.
Ginger ale.
Your ginger ale. Yeah, quotes.
All right, AK. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. This is usually what you guys do to me with my segments. Legit quarterback battle or not? No him-hawing around. Legit or not?
I'm gonna say not, but that's just my opinion.
I disagree.
Well, okay, there's got to be a competition. Let's just say that. Okay, there's going to be a competition. But does anybody, just like there was a competition when Dylan came to town, but did anybody think that at the end of the day that Dylan wasn't going to be the starter? Now, I think with this Anthony Calandria I think they brought him in, and I think that they fully expect him to be the starter. Now, of course, he's got to go win the job, but I would be stunned if he's not behind center on opening day.
As you're going through the roster on, as we get through availabilities, and we trudge about a month away from the spring game, is there a hole you didn't feel like they filled in the transfer portal or recruiting classes that you're most interested to see? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Ooh, that's a good one. I want to see what the defensive line looks like, and it's a newly it's probably a stock answer, but I just want to see where the new pieces fit in with the returning guys that they have, and what the new system looks like. I think that's the unknown with the whatever 4-man front or whatever, and I want to see how that looks like and how that can vary. I just I think that I have no doubts that they tried and they did get pieces in the transfer portal. I just want to see how effective they are, and I'm not sure we're going to get that answer until August, September. You know what I mean? We can only know so much in the spring and in the summer workouts. But I think the defensive line for me is my one question mark. I know people talk about running backs. I'm not as concerned about the running back position as some people are. I think the pieces they have are I think have potential, and I don't get hung up with that. I think they did a nice job with the offensive line, at least on paper with 5 guys that project as 5 quality starters, and then. And I think they did a nice job in the second level, and they added sneaky pieces to the defensive backfield, which I don't think gets as much pub because it's kind of under the radar. But defensive line is where I'd probably circle.
AK, when you're looking at kind of the progression of the spring, and we'll hear from Coach Maher today. We've heard from Dana and Coach Rob. What are you looking for progress with so many new faces? Have you just resigned yourself to, man, I just want this to look like crisp football? Like, do you need a little more time to process it? New staff, a lot of new staff, a lot of new faces, younger faces too. Do you know what you want it to look like?
I just want it to look clean. I think what you said, clean, crisp football, right? And I think the fact that we're getting a spring game is really beneficial to not only this group as a whole in terms of the team, but I think to the fan base. I think last year's, although I understood the thinking behind it, I don't think it served. I don't think it served the purpose that I think they thought it would, and I don't think the fan base bought into what that they were trying to achieve there. So I think going back to a spring game really helps all parties. And I do think there's a real, this is what I'm sensing, and maybe you guys probably know more than I do, but from the fan base, I got a big time wait and see sentiment from this fan base lately.
I agree.
Wait and see. They're not, there's some people who pile on and rip and whatever, and maybe there's the loud vocal minority. But I get the sense the majority of people are just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to hold off and see what this is all about, and see what these changes are, and see what this team looks like, and see if they've upped the size on both sides of the line, if they can own the line of scrimmage, because that's where they really took a turn for the worst down the stretch last year. And I think that's why this is an important year, because you got a fan base kind of lingering at a very, very tumultuous time in college football. And, there's a lot of people who are disenchanted with the whole new model of where this is going and where we are right now and where it's going. And that's why I think that this is a big time year. And people get so hung up, and maybe it's just because it's the time of year, they get so hung up on the money, and obviously the lack of transparency doesn't help the cause. But, are they spending the most? No, of course not. But they are spending more than they were. So let's see if you can compete at the level that you'd like to with the current monetary limitations that you have as a staff and as a program, and see if you can make a jump. Because other programs have with similar budgets, and I think Nebraska fans are really waiting to see if this is going to happen.
AK, do you think we can keep the garage sale part of the fan day, or do we got to throw that?
I think that is a must, right? That was a huge thing. That was the one, that's the one good thing of last year, I think, right? I mean, that was a huge success, wasn't it?
So much cool stuff there. I've always been a fan of that type of stuff and never really understood why they didn't make it more available.
I think I got these from the garage sale.
The garage sale
I got some parachute pants on. Andy, that I got from the garage
sale. It's a fantastic idea. Like, you don't just have to throw that out with the back.
Now, how about this? Is the inventory going to be as great? Because that was years and years in inventory, right? Last year, wasn't it?
They have leftovers, don't they?
Say it might not be as big, but I'm sure there's enough stuff every year.
I would agree with you. I think there's. I don't know why they don't do it every year. I think that's a terrific idea, and who wouldn't want a little discounted good team wear, team gear?
And they had to make
a pretty good amount of money
they had
there.
to make a pretty good penny.
Oh, no question, right?
Yeah, because you added a budget line item.
Yeah,
you added another revenue stream.
Yeah, that didn't exist before, just out of
nowhere. From zero to whatever they made off it. What do you think they made off that last year?
I don't know, a substantial amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm way over guessing, but
5 figures, 6 figures.
I was gonna guess 6 figures.
Six figures. Yeah, 6.
You can get you don't have to sell that for as much stuff as they had. And I know what some of the prices
were. And
it
was like mob deep in there.
Yes, and that many people, I'd be stunned if they didn't make 6 figures on it.
Yeah, it was a feeding frenzy in there, wasn't it? People grabbing stuff and all that stuff, people carrying around handfuls of gear.
AK, I'm showing everybody my parachute pants.
Got little cargo pockets on them.
Yeah, look,
that's nice.
What do you guys think, man?
I like them.
You guys like?
I thought you got that gear for free, DB. Don't they know who you are?
Yeah, that's why I have to pay for it. Dude, I'm still calling to get permission to go to practice. Meanwhile, Kyle's just interviewing Rhule. I'm like,
I know. I saw that yesterday. Yeah, I saw that.
I thought once they put your picture up, you got whatever you wanted.
You'd think. It's only become tougher.
And I did see that Jessica was running the camera there. She better watch out. We're going to hire her to be a camera person.
She's super talented too. I think people have figured out she can run an interview. She can do an interview. She's good with equipment. She's talented.
And a team player too. There's some people who would scoff at that notion, and she does not. That's good.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to get you out of here on this one. Right now, you and I, you're having your spotted cows, and I'm having my Canada Dry Ginger Alley. Because that's how it goes.
I know.
Yeah. How many teams can win a national championship in college basketball?
Right now, I think there's about 12.
Ooh.
About 12.
Still double digits, huh?
Yeah, but not much more than right around the 10 to 12 area.
Okay.
I do think, and it just depends on who's, it's the old notion. What's the best matchups? Who do you draw, and who gets hot? I mean, really, that's what it comes down to.
Who's the next best team in the Big Ten?
Oh God. Well, can I answer that in 2 weeks, in a week and a half? Because that's.
Are you just looking at Michigan's remaining schedule?
Well, because they got some doozies, right? I mean, that's going to be a tough finish for them, even before you get to Chicago. I mean, that's the thing. You look at where they're at in the standings, and you look at that logjam battling for second place, and you're like, man, I'm not so sure Michigan's not going to join that group.
Well, they got
we're all sitting
for the pushing, though. I mean, they got a 2-game lead.
Sure, but they still have to. You still got to win those games. I would say, maybe second best team. You know, I know Illinois dropped one, but man, when they're on and they're connected, I just tend to lean Illinois. But
does Michigan State have a pulse for you? My partner hates them.
Yeah, I'm not as sold and bullish on Michigan State, but you know they tend to win in March, so I don't discount them. But I think on a neutral floor, Illinois wins that game.
AK, oh, you got one more?
No
more calls.
I just want to see Andy like actually ask Mick Cronin some questions in the Andy, I'll be very disappointed if you don't ask Mick Cronin why he's so cordial and cool.
I'm not sure the sinkhole you want to drive into, but you do your best, all right?
Yeah. I don't know anybody driving into a sinkhole. I think they just collapsed into it, didn't they?
Hey, who pays for that? Like, is that on the city to fix those cars?
Gotta be, right?
I would think so, but I don't think that. I don't know. Like the city takes weird liability.
Is that
on
like
stuff.
Majeure? What is the
force majeure?
I don't know. That wasn't an act of nature right there. That was an act of something.
Or construction?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say, isn't it amazing though?
Like a 5-foot fall. I thought it was going to be deeper than that. I was like, ooh, we may.
Well, that's where I was going. God bless that everybody walked out of there. I mean, crazy to see the video and just imagine like this happening in our town. And my wife is like, if that happened to me, I'm never driving again. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess you're going to stay home all the time. But yeah. But God, thank goodness everybody was all right there. That was scary stuff. When we first heard the news that come across the scanner, we were like, what? You're kidding me.
What time?
Like, what?
What's
what,
that? SP, get out there this morning. You guys are doing, it's like 5 and she's like on 6th and Pacific chilling. I was like, wait a minute, you've been there for about 2 hours. Like, how did you get
people clamoring for that live look to see if the hole has grown.
Listen, we just need that live sinkhole coverage. You need to have a cam on it at all times.
How about the city saying they think it could get worse?
Well, I don't know if sinkholes are like deer. Do they just have one, or are there multiples coming? That's what I want to. Yeah, that's
really depends on what kind of water's beneath the street there.
Nice. Is that how it goes? Okay.
I think Elmwood Creek is right there, so you got some issues, and
Yeah, nice pull over there, AK. I'm just telling you, and this is just between me and you, like those old greeting cards at Hallmark. I'm really getting jealous of all the love touches with Robin and Big Head Sean, and I don't feel like I've done any hits with you lately. And
DB, you are always welcome, my friend. You always will. We got spring football right around the corner, like the game and practice. Talking about practice.
Operation Pouty.
AK, you got it invited.
Yes, we will definitely do that.
Doing full-fledged, youngest of 5, ultra-sensitive baby mode. It's good to see. I like to see Robin getting work, though.
Well, Robin is getting reps. We've been working Robin harder than ever.
He's been
the most we've ever used him
for years.
And it's hard what you guys do. I know because you'll have me do it, and I was like, wait a minute, there's no lead in and lead out. I have to do this whole thing by myself. Like that's not easy.
Yeah, and keep it to 35 to 45 seconds if you could.
That's not easy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like Robin, I'm like, okay, I see the reps.
I'll say television can be a little tricky.
Yeah. Well, Robin has mastered his craft, no doubt. You say, okay, ready, go. And then he lets it rip. He's fantastic.
All right, my man. Another good talent find on your part.
Yeah, see? Scout. I'm a talent scout.
All right. I need you to negotiate all my contracts from here on out.
Sounds good to me. As long as you return. As long as you come back to us. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I got you, AK.
Andy, we appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Let's take a quick break here. Then we will get to DB and I's top 5 off the radar.
How about just 5?
Okay, just 5 in general.
I'm not gonna really put them in order.
Okay. 5 off the radar Nebraska football players to watch this spring. That's DBM Ravi Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think maybe the biggest adjustment in today's football is that you're not really building off the previous year's team. I mean, it's kind of a brand new team every single year, and so everybody, whether they were here before or whether they're coming in as a freshman or coming in from another school, they all have to sort of adapt into each other. I think from the very first moment that I met Anthony when he got out of the car with his parents on the visit, you could tell that there's something special about him. Right? He's a dynamic player with a great personality, very affable. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you want your quarterback to probably walk a little bit different than everybody else. He has a lot on his shoulders, but be one of the guys. And I think Anthony's done that really, really well.
Yeah, they've been really hectic, really busy, doing a lot of stuff, with my family, trying to hang out with them, be around them. Obviously, funeral and stuff like that, but then obviously, traveling with these guys, practicing every day, class, homework, all that. It's been really busy, hectic, but yeah, we're getting it done and working through that. Yeah, I got a lot of good people around me, my teammates, coaches. They've given me time to be away, step away, and take time that I need to kind of be other places that are also important for me to be at. And yeah, they've helped me tremendously. And when I'm here, you can laugh and joke. Basketball kind of takes your mind off a lot.
Yeah, they're playing their best basketball this season, and they've won 3 out of 5, and have had some really good wins in that stretch. Beat Iowa, won on the road at Minnesota, and then knocked off Washington in their last one. And it's a team that you can tell they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they play with a lot of energy and swagger. They're tough, they're physical. They got guys that are shooting the ball well right now. Mills has taken his game to a whole different level, averaging over 24 points in the last 4. Coit has 2 40-plus point games this year. Adams is a double figures scorer for them. Washington, we know him from when we played A&M a couple years ago, just really, really tough, aggressive, 6 offensive rebounds in the last game. And, this is a team that's, again, they're playing really well. Saunders is a guy that can really get it going from the outside as well, and they've got good role players. So I've been really impressed with the way that they've been playing in their recent stretch, and we're going to have our hands full tomorrow night.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Reminding you, make sure you go see our friends over at Next Gen. It's nextgenmmc.com. You can schedule an appointment, see all their services. DB, are you going over today?
I am.
Today's your day?
I am. I think I'm pretty good on my amounts. And
Sir Moreland,
guess what?
What?
So I was taught the tool to use to get the cap off the vial to get the most out of
the bottle.
The bottle.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Did they teach you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got I'm telling you, it is like the best one-stop shop.
They got you covered.
You know, because sometimes you get, especially if you have like a baby needle, and you want to get the last bit.
Yeah.
Like there's a trick to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was today years old when I learned that if you kind of twist the bottle, there's an opening on each side where you can actually see. It's not gray.
Oh, yeah.
The whole way around.
Yeah.
She goes, if you just twist it like this, then you can see what. I was like, oh my gosh, I have more. She goes, I think I can get 2 draws out of that. Do you want me to do it for you? And she knows I'm so inept. Like she bagged it, put it in the fridge, and was like, you can take those home with you. And I was like, well, I could have done it. Oh, but thank you.
I could do it.
I get to do that
Okay,
voice.
my bad.
You don't get
My
to do
bad.
that voice.
My bad.
It's very wrong.
I thought it was just a
much
voice
like
we were
my
doing.
man Suave over here, just out of pocket.
Give them a call, 402-614-9700. They will take just as good a care of you as they do me and DB.
Do they even like you?
I don't know. I don't go as often as you because I don't get I do all my injections and stuff myself.
It's the only time I get out of the house.
And so well, those are your friends. You got to go say hi to them.
No, them and Aaron.
That's it. So, yeah, I only go about once a month. So they don't see me as much.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe like an absence makes the heart grow fonder type thing. I'm trying to make them want more.
One of my buddies sent a message, and this was totally unintentional, but there were like 4 consecutive texts over time that I hadn't responded to. And he's like, look, bro, you're gonna have to knock this off. I need you to get your act together. So I have to. There's a button where I can click that says unread messages.
So it like makes it look. So it like reminds you got to reply.
Yeah.
No, I do that with email sometimes.
I mean, shoot, it's hard.
Yeah,
I got to be better though. I'm just very.
I'll be honest.
I'm in a very. I don't know. I'm just in a very unapproachable place.
Well, if you ever slept again, that might help.
It's pissing me off,
man. So I almost didn't go back because you guys sent about 100 text messages yesterday in the chat.
Before, what were we talking about? Was it the Boozer thing?
It started with Peterson, and then it transformed into Boozer, and then analytics, and then somehow the 74 Steelers got brought up.
Well, I'm just saying, I numbers junkies like DVOA on the 70 Steelers in the 70s. It's like the best of all time, and I'm just telling you, that team's not beating the San Francisco
49ers.
They're not beating San Francisco in 1994.
That team was insane. That 49ers team was so good.
No, just simple evolution.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But that also that 49ers team was so good.
It's like you're just not. So like I get data points, and the one that Jacob was using only went back to 2009.
Yeah. So it's limited.
But I do think we misconstrued the argument, because to reframe it, I'm not down on. I mean, Boozer's he's going to win Player of the Year probably, him or DeBanza.
Yeah,
I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah,
I'm just
saying
saying
about as a draft prospect.
Yeah, I have concerns.
Yeah, and I know I kind of make a thing out of the Peterson thing. If you can get him like number 5 or 6 in the draft, I'm cool. Like that's the conversation I'm having. Not hey, he can't play.
His pressers are actually getting better. I think Self may have to shut him down pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because you could tell DP is getting agitated.
Yeah.
I don't know what they say. I don't even listen. Somebody's always saying something. So it's like, yeah, we may have to just shut him down at the old podium.
You want a chance to make a little money here?
Ooh.
This is gonna be a hard one. I'm giving you no clues, but I will give you $30. So I'll bring you up
plus
to even,
70.
I'd bring you up to an
Oh
even
boy.
100.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
I will do third because this is a hard one. So I will go 30 against 10. You only lose 10.
Okay. What is it?
Name my favorite random 49er from the 90s. Random. So I'll give you not Steve Young, not Jerry Rice. Favorite random 49er from the 90s.
I don't want to take the bet, but I'll entertain you.
Okay. You're not gonna take 30 versus 10?
No.
Okay.
Odds are so far stacked
It's
against
bad.
me. I don't even want 3-1.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Brent Jones.
I did like Brent Jones. That's not the answer.
How about
I'll give you
Jesse Sapolu?
Nope. I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Did he ever take a duker in a closed basket?
I don't know who that is.
Charles Haley.
No.
He actually did that in the meeting rooms.
Yeah, now you said Charles Haley. I remember that immediately. Right side of the ball, though. It's a defensive player. It's random.
Keena Turner?
Merton Hanks.
Oh, God. You would like an Iowa guy.
I loved Merton Hanks.
That's so terrible. That might be the worst thing you've ever said, other than what Rico said during break.
Oh, D Sweet got it. How did he know?
Dallas is weird.
Oh, Dominic got it too. There was a couple guys in the chat that got it.
Why would you like Merton Hanks?
It's because when he went in the end zone, he did that weird like neck thing.
Yeah,
like
that's
I just liked it.
That's an Iowa guy. I just want you to know that.
I didn't know he was
No,
an Iowa
and I'm
guy
not even
at
gonna
the
hate
time.
because I love Jack Campbell.
I didn't know he was an Iowa guy.
I'm a huge Cooper DeJean. Like,
Yeah.
I love Noah Fant. Like, don't let me. Don't let me.
I was like, you like Iowa more than anybody here.
That's it's an old NWA song. I want justice. That's a lie.
D Sweet says I knew he'd love the dancing. Yeah, exactly. That's I love. When I was a kid, man, it was
Yeah, you're definitely a kid. You're definitely a kid.
me on the playground at Montclair Elementary doing the Merton Hanks.
You're a Montclair guy?
Yeah. Go Wildcats, baby.
No, go Laura Dodge Wildcats.
MONTCLAAR. We are the best kids way by far. Wildcats, we're the best.
And then Morton Junior High.
Wildcats, Wildcats over the rest.
Kids from down the street. They look 100 miles from head to feet. They got the cheery smiles, that winning way. And when the people see them, they all stop and say, "There go the Panther kids from Morton Junior High."
Not scared of Morton.
Whatever.
Go Montclair.
We had ballers.
We rolling deep.
We had ballers.
Wyatt says Burton Hanks has regular chiropractic appointments. I bet. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Hanks was sweet, but
He was nice.
That's just you're doing too much.
I love Merton Hanks. That was my guy. I tried to. So I bought because he used to always wear the turtlenecks. I got my
no out on all. Ike beat Keena Turner.
My
out on Ike.
Nah. My.
Can I give you another random?
Yeah.
This is 80s.
80s might be a little early for me.
Big Fred Dean guy?
I don't know Fred Dean.
What about Freddie Solomon?
I don't know Freddie Solomon.
Black shoes, Freddie Solomon.
I'm not a big black shoes guy. For like football players, I like the white shoes.
Like Billy?
I'm more Billy White shoes guy.
It's awful.
You know what? The black shoes remind me of.
This is not a good 4-minute stretch for you.
The black shoes remind me of Penn State. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Can leave Joe Pa out there.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and turn the old back to you.
I was a big Merton Hanks guy. Although I may have accepted Dana Stubblefield.
Oh, bad guy.
Really? Oh yeah, he got arrested, didn't he?
Dude,
he's like in prison. I also really liked Bryant Young. I was a big Bryant Young guy.
Dude, read.
I don't remember what he did. I knew he got arrested.
Quick Google search.
Yeah, bad dude.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I take back Dana Stubblefield.
It's a big dude, right?
Yeah, big guy.
Elderly people.
Oh, come on, man.
Disabled.
What are we doing?
Out.
Did the Kellen Winslow Jr.?
Not to that degree, but
bad guy. Get out of here. Stick with Bryant Young then.
He said, "Get out of here."
We'll do Bryant Young and Junior Bryant. We'll take those two.
Huge Junior Bryant guy.
Gold Creighton Prep kid. Omaha guy.
Huge Junior Bryant guy.
Yeah.
Keep it local, yokel.
All right, let's get to our 5 spring football players we're looking at below the radar. And I feel like we can have a discussion if I think one of your guys is too prominent or you think one of my guys is too prominent.
I'm just saying, like, kind of off the grid.
Yeah. But if we think somebody's
just kind of off the grid,
somebody's too prominent, we can
they think they could have a big role come fall ball.
We can send it to the committee and see what they think. If
Who's the committee? Are we going with is Shane in or not? Because we got
no.
Action Jackson and we got Suave.
mostly just Rico and Austin.
Wow.
That's all.
Shane, nice sports takes over there, buddy. I see you have the diminutive opinion.
I feel like if
People love the long shots.
If it's not somebody that played for the 80s Raiders, I don't think he's going to have a strong opinion.
Or
about
Lions.
They got a pickle.
He wasn't a Lions fan in the 80s.
You're a big Eric Hipple guy, aren't you, Shane?
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's fine.
All right. 80s and 90s Lions.
Big
and
Billy Sims guy?
Billy Sims, Eddie Payton.
Wow, Oklahoma guy, really?
Good pull on Eddie Payton.
Yeah. That guy could return the ball.
I'm proud of you. You're not as dumb as you look.
I'm just as short as I look.
It's hard not to be, you know?
Well, I do have my shortcomings.
Gotta love the short ones. Bye, Shane.
All right. You want to go first?
People love the long shots.
We can ping pong. We go back and forth.
Okay.
What's your first one?
Why do I have to go first?
I asked if
It's
you wanted
my
to.
game.
Okay, sure. You want me to go first?
Yes.
I'm going deep cut right away. This is the guy I've talked about. You know, I like.
Okay.
I would like to. I'd like to see a little bit.
Are these guys you're hoping are good? Because you do have a little bit of that in you.
I do. No, so that is, and that's actually a good place to start.
Thank you.
Because when I'm doing evals,
okay,
basketball, football, whatever, I will almost never miss a guy that can play that I think can't. Like if he can play, I'm probably not going to say that guy sucks.
Okay.
The way I will miss is if I see something in there and he never gets to that.
Okay.
Like I'll miss on a guy that never pans out. If I say a guy sucks, he almost always sucks.
Fair.
Like that's just what it is. Especially in basketball, I do not miss there very often. So there is that tinge to this group.
Okay.
On some of them.
I like the word tinge. It's like taint.
This one
Your opinion.
This one is probably the deepest cut here and the most hopeful of the bunch. The rest are a little bit more solid. I'm going to start with Dylan Parrott.
Yeah, you do have an affinity.
I think he's good. I think in the right opportunity with the right in the right system and group, I think he can be very good.
I do not disagree with that, and he definitely has a role.
I think he's good. So I'm starting with Dylan Parrott.
I am going to go right to the secondary, and we've seen glimpses, and I think we feel like we had our mind made up. He was pegged early, and then I think just the rigors of college, right? The ups and downs, the highs and lows, the doing hard things every day. Super gifted. As good as an athlete as there is on campus, not named Andy Jackson.
Oh, I know this one.
Jeremiah Charles.
Yep. That's a good one.
Has had a really good offseason. I am expecting big things from him from spring. He's at a highly, highly competitive position.
Super athletically gifted.
But give me JJ.
Jeremiah Charles.
When it comes to guys coming from kind of off the grid, not walking on the beaten path.
All right. I'll stay in the secondary.
Okay.
Oh,
boy.
You know my affinity here. I got to go Caleb.
Yeah.
This isn't a you thing. You know, I've been on Caleb, on his bandwagon forever. Like in high school, I was telling people this is the best kid in the state, the best all-around football player we had in the state that year, and a year that was really good for college football players. In a system that allows him to come downhill, be, what did Orich say? Simple, fast, violent. Like you want run fitters, Caleb is going to bring that drama. And I am very excited to see what he's allowed to do in a new system.
I agree. If he stays at the post, the boundary safety in this 4-2-5, man,
that's a good spot for him.
He could
that's a good spot for him.
He'll make a run.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Because I would never say that.
I know you wouldn't, but I've been a fan.
But I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to come from all. I think people are more on your side with that now.
Okay, fair.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not splitting hairs. Give me Ingerson.
Okay.
I talk about him a ton. I know you probably think I lack objectivity.
No, I like Ingerson.
Even though his dad drives me crazy sometimes. I'm going with Ingerson. Like, big, strong. He's learning to be more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's tough.
Yeah.
He's mean-spirited. He's the type of guy. I mean, he's a pile separator.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Yeah.
So I think he's about that life when it comes to playing football. And it's a good room. It's a good competitive room. I think Sorensen is going to be good. Echternach has come a long way, especially as his fitness gets better. We know about Lindemeyer, who wants more opportunities to do more. So I think his offseason is going to be critical. But no Markway now. I'll take Ingerson.
I will go with another guy I think is about that life on the offensive side of the ball. We already talked about him a little bit today. I'm going with Isaiah Mosey.
Oh, good call.
Nelson gets a lot of the attention, and rightfully so. Like, he's a really good runner. Had some flash plays in the bowl game. Mosey's about that life. I think we're going to see more of a distribution.
Uber competitive too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more of a distribution of carries this year than we did last year. I think Mosey is going to make it uncomfortable not to put him on the football field. He runs like he's mad at everybody. Really, really hard to tackle. And with a wide receiver background, I feel like he can be super versatile in the offense. I'm a big Mosey fan, and I think he could be really good.
Yeah, that'll be a good litmus test for EJ too. Because we're very slow to give him credit. We're going to try to grab him.
Yeah.
Maybe if not this, he doesn't love interviews.
Yeah.
But he may do me a solid. If his boss says it's good, we'll try to grab EJ.
Because I'd love to talk to him about with Emmett in the combine this weekend.
I just want you to hear his philosophy and his voice, right? And on the heels of the combine, that was a good pull by Avery.
Yeah, good idea. Very good idea
for that. So, and I'm with that, especially with the combines. So this one is more about, for me. I was talking about this with Jess last week before she did her list with Kyle on Sports Nightly. Well, if you're looking for a poster child for development of new techniques and the new arrival of the staff, he's kind of flown under the radar. We'll see if he can stay healthy. I'm going to go with Grant Bricks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Kind of forgotten about. Was going to be really good. Highly thought of. Gets a new set of eyes. Kind of a new outlook on life. I think the scheme
fits what he wants to do.
Can kind of fit to his attributes, and I think it will be a good case study for Coach Wade and Coach LT. I'll go with Grant Bricks.
So I only have one lineman, and he's on the one offensive lineman. He's on the border for me, so I'm not going to go to him yet, and he may not count anyway. But I want to start with a guy that I do think is going to be really benefited from the scheme change. And he plays, I don't want to say behind, but at least in people's minds is not the guy that comes to the top of mind from this position. And that's Dylan Rogers. Everybody talks about Willis McGahee being benefited from the change. I think they are going to be in a similar role. I liked Dylan Rogers last fall. I didn't feel like they did a good job of finding ways to use him. I think he's talented, and with the possibly playing on kind of like an open end defensive end, what's the 6'I or 7 that you talk about. I think he could be really good there. I think he's got some natural instincts rushing the passer. I've been a big Dylan Rogers guy for about a year, and I'm very interested to see what he looks like under Roy Manning.
That's fascinating. Would I put Dylan on the open or the away from the? Would I put him at the? I would probably play him in the. That's. See, open or close side end. I like the Dylan Rogers thing.
Yeah,
he doesn't say a ton. I like that.
I'm a big Dylan Rogers guy. That's one of the guys I asked you about last year. I like him.
So kind of off the beaten path, because I think we feel like we know a lot about the room, and I already told you I like Gilmer coming in, who's I think better than I think we might assume. I'm gonna set him to the side. If you're looking at for development and what this coaching staff likes to do, I'm going with Jeremiah Jones.
Oh, that's a good one. Physically freaky.
Murray, Kentucky's finest. I lack a little objectivity because he's always with kind of the crew. He's been to Omaha. He's, he came to West Side to watch us.
Big kid.
Big. Did you see him? Like he's a he's a big super
kid.
Good kid.
Does not look like a wide receiver.
I think he likes to learn.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, like he's continuing to mature. I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Jones.
So my last one, I like that one. Jeremiah Jones is super interesting to me. I don't know what to expect from him at all, but he's super interesting to me. I'm going to go with another guy at that position. I don't know how much we're going to see him from spring, but I think by the fall, and he got mentioned by Dana Holgerson, and I've been a big fan of this guy for a while, since the staff came in, basically.
Oh.
Janarin Bonner.
Yeah. Spring is going to be tough because he's not contributing, but
by the fall,
you love him.
I love Bonner. The versatility of his skill set. And you heard, listen, I don't think I'm alone. Like when Dana Holgerson says our entire offense changed when he got hurt, that tells me I'm right. We just haven't gotten to see it yet. So I don't know if he's going to be healthy enough. I don't know if we're actually ever going to get to see it. But that's the guy. I mean, he's the definition of below the radar. Like nobody, especially in that wide receiver room / tight end ish, nobody's talking about Bonner. But obviously, Dana Holgerson's not out here giving flowers just for funsies. If he says the entire offense changed when Wood got hurt, which I think was the quote, I have to tend to agree with him. I wouldn't have even gone as far as that. I just think he's a very versatile, interesting piece where if you're a defense, this is part of the reason I like Mosey, right? If you're a defense,
you'd like Mosey as a person.
Yes, I do. But I also do like the football.
You would like to hang around him as a person.
So when you put one of those guys on the field, whether it's Bonner, whether it's Mosey, it's one of the things I like about Lindemeyer. You don't know what the offense is going to do. That's been one of my bigger issues with Carter Nelson through the early parts of his career is you have an idea of what the offense is going to do when he gets on the field. I like guys that you can put out there and you go, okay, I don't know if they're going to hand Bonner the ball or pass it to Mosey or vice versa, or I have no idea what's happening when those two guys are on the field, and that makes life hard for defenses. I like that.
I was yesterday and the day before when I first thought of this, I was gonna go with Ochoa. Right, big Ochoa fan. I think he's gonna benefit again. Open close side, playing a natural end type. But I'll give you one that I think can help validate my guy.
Okay,
I'm Team Barthel.
Yeah,
I told you he could have coached our room. I think he's fantastic in terms of guys getting better. EJ just didn't drop out of the sky. There was some teaching there. I'm watching Mackay, and he's just pass pro, and it's better. And I'm watching Mosey, who's never played running back before. I'm going with Jamal Rhule, though.
Oh, okay.
Not highly regarded.
No, he wasn't a big. He wasn't a big
and we
prospect.
don't get to go back and say, oh yeah, he was kind of flying under the radar. He's a quiet commit, early commit, super humble.
We talked to him.
I hopped on his bus a couple of times at the bowl game just to, I'm a closet stalker, so I was just trying to get a feel for his personality.
Yeah.
He interests me a ton as a runner. I think people they don't have his frame pegged at all. He's very muscular.
Yeah.
I've
not
heard people
huge,
call
but
him he's compact. And I like his running style. And I think he has the temperament to handle tough coaching. And he's kind of on the receiving end of some criticisms of Coach Holgerson's answer about the portal and roster limits, which, by the way, we'll talk to Mitch here coming up because I know we got to get to him. But I'm going with Jamal Rhule.
So you just said one thing there that made me make this comparison. So tell me if I'm right or wrong. Like, is there a little Tay in there?
No, he doesn't have his.
Because you said compact body type, and I was like, okay,
he doesn't
maybe.
have the
Like
elusiveness.
Okay.
Like Tay's, when he's right, he's top 5 players in the state.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So,
I think that's a question.
Like, the different running style. I do like his balance, but he's not near as explosive in small spaces. As Tay. Tay's balance is elite.
Okay.
It is amongst the best that I've ever seen of any running back at any level.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an elite level balance.
Yeah.
But give me Jamal Rhule.
Jamal Rhule is an interesting one. I think that would go because not only do you get the development, but you get the recruiting eval on that as well.
Yeah.
To kind of validate Coach Barthel. So good exercise there. That is
a little 2-in-1.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to have to send flowers.
Maybe.
You don't have to buy me flowers.
You big Miley guy?
No.
Okay. That's DB.
I made that up.
I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back with Mitch Sherman from The Athletic coming up next.
Yeah, they've been able to keep some guys from last year that were real key players for them. Benson's playing at a high level. CJ Gunn's playing at a high level. So I think it starts there. And then they've added some good pieces. Defensively, they've been extremely sound all season long. And why they won at Seton Hall, but they played well at against St. John's on the road. They had Xavier down 18 in the second half at Xavier, lost that game. They had Villanova down 8 to 10 points in the second half at Villanova. So they've had some near misses on the road. And it's a team that I think really believes. They'd won 2 in a row, coming into that Providence game, and they're on the free throw line with a chance to win it, and unfortunately miss a couple free throws. So they're playing at a pretty high level right now.
I'd say it factored a lot for sure. When I found out, I talked to Coach Rhule about it, and I found out he was an option, and he was thinking about bringing him on board. Like, I was all hands on. I love Coach Orich. I like, his scheme, his idea, his philosophy when it comes to football. So, as soon as I heard he was coming on board, like, I was all hands on deck with him. I mean, as far as the football aspect, really just leveling up my game. But, the biggest difference is just, like I mentioned, just being more of a leader, being more vocal now that, those previous leaders have, moved on and are, going on to do better things. It's now my time to step up and be a voice and a leader on the team.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys? Sorry that I can see you and you can't see me right now.
I know. It's kind of bummy. I feel like
I'm not in my normal spot. But
okay. You're going to be on the move? Are you heading down to Lincoln today, Mitch?
Possibly. So my dog has to get groomed at 1:00 today. So I'm trying to figure out if I can make that work to get back in time for this is very important. Like he's a smelly mess. It's the end of the winter grooming. So to be determined. Either way, I'll either be watching on the stream and taking notes and making observations, or I'll be there in person and able to ask questions. Looking forward to hearing from Brett Maher and the D-line guys for sure.
I can't even remotely make fun of you. Yesterday, Mitch, my Bella is only 18 weeks old. As Ravi can attest, she's teeny, and she is a menace. I have 2 other Frenchies, and my middle guy, Buddha, they were out playing because they were just out playing, running around, and she got a few mud splotches on her. And I immediately got my oatmeal basin shampoo specially made for dogs. I put her in.
Look at that.
I turned on the little whirlpool thing. I had that little puster base. So don't let me even remotely make fun of you for thinking dog grooming is important, man. I had to. That's the first bath I gave her. I figured out she actually likes water, and I think we'll be good to go. I don't have outside dogs. Like they go outside to go to the bathroom. And that's about it. Like
that's the same.
I don't want.
That's the same as our dog. I mean, he's like 11 pounds, so he's not. He's outside to go to the bathroom, and that's it. And sometimes he thinks he doesn't even have to go outside to go to the bathroom. But that's it. That's a different story. But yeah, I would be in deep water, hot water, if I tried to make it back and got stuck in Lincoln at the media availability, and we had to cancel the grooming. This is on the calendar, and it's a non-negotiable. It has to get done today.
Mitch, have you ever seen Joe Dirt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when it snowed, Bella is the only one that, again, she's only 18 weeks. She's the one that would like go to the bathroom on the deck, even though shovel the deck. There's an out for her, and the other 2 dogs, they're fine. So we were collecting kind of poop on the deck. So I'm the guy that has a poop sticking tool to get fecal matter off the deck because I like to spend a lot of time outside. So it was paramount because of my OCD with the weather getting warm.
You got to get it before it warms up.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
You get it. You get it. I want a very poop-free, hygiene-friendly deck for today when I get kicked out of my house and I have to stay outside all the time. I do not want any remnants. So listen, you could tell me anything about dogs and I'm all in.
Okay. Well, we'll talk more about dogs sometime, I'm sure.
Little dogs. This guy over here is a big dog guy. I have little dogs. You have little dogs. Let's be team little dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's my rant.
So Mitch, I know we got press availability today. I want to go back to last week though, because I thought we got an interesting answer out of Dana Holgorsen on sort of the process of the running backs room. And then I know on your podcast on the Locked On Nebraska, you had some thoughts on that as well. So when you're listening to Dana Holgorsen answer the question about the running back room, about the decision making, like what's going through your head and kind of what ended up being your reaction for people that didn't hear the pod?
Sure. Well, I was on record before Dana talked on Thursday expressing my opinion that I think they should have added someone in the portal. And I know there are numbers. I know there are returners. I know they feel strongly about all of those guys in that room, but in particular, the top 3 who have played the most. And they feel strongly about Connor Booth and Jamal Rhule, who are going to be new contributors this year, presumably. If all of that pans out, then they're in good shape. Like if you have 5 running backs who can get on the field and contribute, then you don't need Emmett Johnson. You don't need a 1,500-yard rusher. I just don't know yet because I haven't seen enough of them, if those players are going to be that kind of reliable. And I know you have strong feelings and personal and football related, Damon, about Mekhi Nelson. And it's nothing against him. Like in the glimpses that I've seen of him, it's been promising. I just don't know what that's going to look like held up over a 13-game season. So I think based on where Nebraska's at as a program and how important that piece is to the offense and how important that piece is to keeping the quarterback healthy, that they should have explored, and maybe they explored options more than they're letting us know. But I think that they should look. There weren't like just a a vast number of running backs out there to go get. And it's not as easy as just saying, hey, we want a guy. All right, we got a guy. Like, it costs money. I get it. Probably my biggest issue coming out of the availability on Thursday was the reasoning behind that Dana Holgorsen gave behind the confidence that they have in this group of running backs. Like, if you want to say that we watched them in practice for an entire season, they got just as many reps as they would have got had Emmett Johnson not been having an All-American year. And we saw everything we needed to know in practice during the season to be confident going into 2026. I think I would feel better, but like the reasoning that they proved it in the bowl game, like, that rings hollow with me. They had a very nice opening drive in the bowl game against a defense from Utah that was statistically very poor against the rush and had gotten gouged by Kansas and Kansas State against the rush. And it was a really nice drive. And Mekhi Nelson ran for 58 yards on that first drive and had a touchdown run that was spectacular. And that all looked great. And they got up 14-7. The second drive was mostly through the air with TJ. And then they didn't get a first down as Utah rolled off 31 points. And I think if you're going to express that kind of confidence in the running game based on what you saw in the bowl game, like, you better not have a 31-0 stretch in that game where you didn't get a first down. And that's what happened. So there's my issue right there, is like the evidence that they were using to say that the running game is in good shape and that the running backs they have everything they need there to use that bowl game as evidence.
Now, did you take it as the running game or the running back before I asked my first question?
I took it more as the running backs, because I think the running game has changed. Like, they've added pieces to the offensive line. And like, I think the offensive line last year gets a bad rap for what kind of a job they did in the running game. Like, it's easy to look at the sack numbers and say, well, that offensive line was junk. And that's not the case, because they did a really good job in opening holes for Emmett.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Along those lines, if we're just talking like a talent eval, which is kind of what I think Coach Holgorsen was talking about. And I asked this to Sam, and it's only a handful of guys that I think have this frame of reference. So this is why I'm repeat asking you, just because of your proximity to Lincoln and what you were getting ready to do in the early 90s as a profession. What do you think the difference is between a level of excitement or using Mekhi Nelson's bowl game performance as a marker versus how we felt watching, let's say, Johnny Mitchell or Derek Brown in a meaningless blowout loss to Georgia Tech when Nebraska maybe had a program low for Coach Osborne and company that still allowed us to be excited about the next year. Because that's the analogy I'm making when I think Coach Holgorsen is trying to state his case. Is there a difference for you? Because I think we thought that, right? We're like, oh, shoot, man, like this D Brown, like he looks good. Oh, this Johnny, like I got something to be excited about next year.
Sure.
And remember, that's 91. That was getting ready. That was on the heels of 92, which was a really tough stretch.
So I'll give you some thoughts on that. But it's funny that you asked the question that way, because I was just thinking this morning about not this exact question, but like the context of this question. And I try to put myself into the shoes of like my readers and listeners. Okay. And I wonder what it would have been like for me if I was, say, 30 years old when during the 90s, and I was a consumer of Nebraska football content, and people like us had come out in these conversations and talked about the early 60s. Like the early 60s during the 90s, seemed incredibly irrelevant. And I realize that the 90s are more relevant now because it was the pinnacle and it was the height of Nebraska football. And it's a reference point for like the mountaintop of what Nebraska is. But I say that because like the same amount of time has passed between the 60s and the 90s as has passed now between the 90s and in the middle of the 2020s. And yeah, I mean, you can still draw comparisons and say
the duration of the time period as it relates to the question is kind of irrelevant, though.
I understand, but
that's
I
kind
preface
of like
it
an addition to or a caveat that it doesn't really it doesn't have a ton to do with the relative.
I know.
Okay.
I preface it because I was just thinking about that today. Like,
I got you.
man, we talk about that a lot, and we bring up the 90s, and like it's natural when you and me have a conversation. Like you played then, I was getting my feet wet as a reporter then. Like it's only natural for us to think about that. But I'm a little bit hesitant because of the amount of time has passed, and because of how much is different in the game today. All that said, I'll answer your question.
I could have said, could we be excited about good players on a bad team during a bad era?
Yeah, and that could be 2015 just as easily. But there's a good example that you bring up with Derek Brown or Johnny Mitchell. So I get that. Yeah, it's a good point, and I think we probably were excited at that time about those young players in the program and like the flashes that they showed in bowl games. It's hard for me to like do a complete comparison because I think we probably saw some stuff from guys like that, like Mitchell or Brown, earlier than a bowl game. You know, you didn't the red shirt rules weren't the same. If you played, and it wasn't like you could play in the bowl game and not burn a red not burn a red shirt. So but yeah, I mean, like your basic point that we've done this in the past and it's panned out well, where a player who looked good and flashed something in a bowl game, even if it was just for like a small portion of the game, has been a good precursor for what happened in the years after that. Certainly those were great players and those guys had tremendous talent. And I don't know that there was ever a whole lot of question about the talent that those guys had when they got to the program. But yeah, I mean, it's a good analogy it's at least like food for thought on the analogy to draw to like what you saw from Mekhi Nelson and Isaiah Mosey in the bowl game and Quentin Ives a year ago. Like Quentin Ives had a decent bowl game in New York. And then he did get a few opportunities as a short yardage back against Utah. And yeah, despite the score being 44-22 and Nebraska really getting blown out in that game beyond what the score says, he did his job in those spots.
Mitch, as we look at the availability coming up today, and I understand that you might not be there, but what are some of the things that you're kind of interested to hear from Brett Maher specifically? Obviously, that special team spot has been a pretty, I guess, polarizing one in the offseason.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to hear about his excitement for digging in on the entirety of special teams and where he where he's kind of developed that passion for it. I mean, he played for half of the NFL teams. It seems like I think he played for 9 NFL organizations, for 3 in the CFL. So he's been around. Plus Bill Bush in his 2 years at Nebraska was the special teams coordinator. So he's been around a ton of just by the number aspect of it. He's been around a lot of special teams coaches and a lot, I'm sure a lot of different philosophies. So I wonder like we didn't have to worry about it with Brett Maher in the past. Like he was in the past couple of years at Nebraska, he's just been there to mentor the kickers and to help the kickers. I think, with the mental part of it as much as the physically, like everything you're doing with your steps and your leg. And they've gotten results there, but now this role is greatly expanded because he's got to do a lot as a special teams coordinator. And I know he has Nick Humphrey to lean on as well and to kind of to teach somewhat. Yeah, I'm just curious about his like special teams philosophy in general, where he picked that up and how comfortable he is in coaching like punt coverage in in comparison to like field goal mechanics.
So like it's kind of the consternation or the concern or whatever, and I can be super objective and say, right, huge, super good track record for Coach Eckler as a special teams coach. Nebraska's trajectory before Eckler was down for special teams. Is it the totality of overseeing the whole unit? Is it the fact that it's just not Eckler and we think that he's kind of the only guy that can do it? Are we just conditioned to it not being good special teams? If it's anybody other than Eckler, is it all of the above? Because we're super down on this portion of Nebraska's three-prong approach. I'm just where do you think the catalyst is?
I think at the very beginning of the situation, when it was clear based on what Matt Rhule was saying that it wasn't going to work out with Mike Eckler. Like initially when you heard that he was interested in the SC job, I think there was some thought among the fans like, oh, maybe they can get together on the same page and like work this out and he won't leave. And then when Rhule talked about it, it was like, oh, this is not going to work out. Like they tried to get him in the season, in the middle of the season. And like, I think it's past the point of no return. And so I think that created some just real disappointment. Like initially that was the thought, because almost like, exasperation. Like Nebraska had gone a long time without being a functionally efficient special teams group. And then it seemed to strike gold with Mike Eckler. Like everything looked like it just the stars had aligned. You found this guy who had a history with Nebraska, had connections in the state, had a reason to want to come back home. And he I know it wasn't perfect, but he definitely fixed it. Like he got you on the right track and he fixed he fixed your problems for the most part. And then after 1 year, it's just like that's over. Where you're are you just gonna go back to the old way of doing it? So I think that's why people are down, because you just hoped that it would be something that could last for several years, and it wasn't going to have to be something. If Eckler had stayed and they had worked it out, and whatever. I don't want to get into like the he said she said in this.
Yeah, I agree. That's
right.
I agree. I'm right there with you.
But if it had just worked out and he had been the guy, like, you wouldn't be worried about it. You'd be like, no, special teams are in good hands. I don't know that they were on cruise control, like he said, but they're in good hands. And like, you're not going to go into, it's one thing less that you have to be concerned about through the off season. And maybe it'll stay that way. Like maybe Maher and Humphrey are going to pick up where he left off, and and everything's going to be just fine. It very well might be. Like I might even lean that direction if I had to forecast it. But it makes you have to think about it and stress about it more, I think, as a fan, because of what happened over the last couple months.
Stress level higher on thinking about special teams or about thinking about the other group we'll hear from the day, the defensive line?
Probably the defensive line. Like I'm ready to be okay with the special teams. Like I'm ready to hear from Maher and knowing that he's got somebody with him. Like I don't think that Nebraska as a program has like shoved it under the rug. I don't think that they've de-emphasized special teams. And if I thought that would make it a real concern. If I thought that they like tried to take the cheap route on replacing Eckler, like clearly he was going to get paid a lot of money if he had come back, and what Maher's not making that, and Humphrey's like together they're not making that. If I thought that was an indication of the commitment level that Nebraska had to special teams, then I would answer this question and say my concern's more about special teams, because we've seen how important it can be. My concern's probably more about defensive line, because it needs to improve. And I don't know if Nebraska did enough. Maybe they did. I don't know yet if Nebraska did enough in the offseason with the additions and then just like the growth that you're going to see within the program to make it be to lead to a big enough improvement so that it's not an issue in 2026. We'll see. We'll find out. And we're not going to know until the season. I don't think there's a whole lot that I can hear today from Corey Brown and Roy Manning that make me, and from Rob Orich, and we'll hear from Riley Van Poppel. I'm sure we'll hear from the transfers, and you'll hear about Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson and how these guys are ready to break out after redshirt seasons. I don't know that I can be convinced that that's enough until I see it in action in a game.
All right, I'm going to get you more football.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Just for fun, you got all sorts of new like kind of ideas and sets of eyes with your Royals. I'm all in on spring training baseball. I'm serious, Mitch, because I think Royals have a top. I mean, that lineup potentially is top half of the league. You got Isbell, Collins, Jensen, India,
could be good.
Pasquantino, Witt, and Garcia. So as long as you guys
Cags, don't forget about Cags.
Hit, stay in the strike zone. Are you excited about your offense? You've messed with the fences at Kaufman. Like you got to be kind of excited, don't you?
Yeah, they're going to hit more home runs this year than they ever have.
It's not a bad lineup if you hit strikes.
Yeah, they're going to hit more home runs. They're going to give up more home runs too, with the fences being in. And I don't know if the Royals want to go all in on that style of baseball or not. Like they've made that decision. It's a little bit scary because when the Royals have been good and when anytime they've made the playoffs, well, maybe not ever. The 14 and 15 teams could hit the ball. But did they win with home runs or did they still win with defense and speed? Yeah, it's the latter. But baseball today has changed, and you have Bobby Witt Jr. as the centerpiece of your organization, and he needs to hit home runs. You need to give him the chance to make the biggest impact that he can. And you're building around Vinny and Cags, and Salvi's got a year or so left, and he hits home runs. So go with your strength. I'm okay with it. I like what they've done. I think they do have a good offense. I hope the pitching staff can stay healthy because that really was the bugaboo last year. That and the fact that they just weren't getting offense from their outfield spots. And I think they've addressed that in the best way that the Royals could. So I'm excited. And I think that the division is not as there's not Detroit last year, Cleveland when they were playing well last year, they were really good. And I don't know that those teams have improved as much as Kansas City.
There you go. That's Mitch Sherman from The Athletic. Mitch, appreciate the time. As always, we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you.
That is Mitch Sherman from The Athletic.
Dog grooming talk does not bother me. Team Mitch on that one.
Well, listen, we're team dogs here.
Do you have stinky dogs?
No. The two are short hair. The two are short haired, so they don't get too stinky and they're easy to bathe. Roggy's a little bit more long hair, so we got to deal with him a little bit. But we try and keep. Mine aren't outside dogs either. They go outside the bathroom. They're prima donnas. They're not trying to mess around. Shadow likes to lay in the sun sometimes in the summer, but he's not getting.
Is that the black one?
There's two that are almost
the bigger
identical. One. It's not. No, Doug is the biggest one. Doug's the one that Bella was chasing around the house.
She weird wants to run the house. I get it.
Yeah, no. Shadow.
What are you going to say? What are you going to say about Mitch? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Oh no, I was just
thought with Nebraska football.
I've been into I'm excited about the Red Sox. I've been into spring training baseball. I'm hoping to have a nice year.
Yeah, one team. This is totally out the beaten path because I want to get back to something Mitch said real quick. One team that I want to be good.
Who's that?
And this doesn't have anything to do with Bruns.
A's.
Yep.
Why? You were kind of on them last year a little bit. You were
I know.
I think
that's a good memory.
You're they're a little better than people think.
I like their lineup.
Yeah.
That's what I kept saying.
Yeah.
That's a very good memory because that was a random.
Yeah, just so.
This is a random thought that I had. But yeah, I want the A's to be good.
I can, there's a part of me that wants them to fail because I feel like they were, the way they handled the Oakland Vegas thing was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that does not want to see them rewarded there. But
getting rid of your closer probably didn't help either.
Yeah. Well, type 1 diabetic Mason Miller. We love Mason.
Yeah. Come on down, Justin Sterner.
Throws about 100 million miles an hour.
So the interesting thing, because I keep going back to Coach Holgerson's answer to the running back room.
Yeah.
And then the questions that followed was, he said, well, is that the fans or is that coming from you guys?
Yeah.
That was an interesting stance to take early, which let me know they're just kind of overhearing it.
So
there's gonna
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. So I think there's this thing where they're come heck or high water, they're gonna make this thing work. Now we'll see if it's, if you're cutting off your nose to spite your face, but come heck or high water, that they're gonna make that running back room work.
So I sort of took that in two different ways. Number one, I've sort of taken this whole tone of the offseason with the coaches as, hey, we have tried, and right, wrong, or indifferent, this is just the vibe that I get. I think when you come to Nebraska, there is a really big temptation to, and I don't mean this as a bad thing necessarily, there's a huge temptation to pander a little bit to the fan base and the tradition and how things have been done.
Okay.
Right? Like even with Coach Rhule, who I think is a very much like stick to your guns type of guy. Like I remember one press conference when he first came out and he's like, we're going to be using fullbacks and stuff like that. I was like, that's a very Nebraskans love a fullback. So I think I think it's really hard to come into this place. You call it Disneyland sometimes, right? That's about the amenities more than anything. But I also think it's sort of like walking into, Yankee Stadium, where it's like there's a little bit of like, oh, there's something there when you walk into this program that it's hard not to try and want to accommodate some of the things that people like about here, right? For whatever other flaws, the only guy that really never did that, because I think Bo did it early. He got away from it, but I think Bo did it early. The guy who never gave a single crap about tradition or anything else was Callahan. For better or worse, like he was just like, hey, I'm going to do it my way. It's going to work or it's not going to work. To heck with all you people, whatever it is, right? Now, I don't think that's quite the right approach. Like I do think you have to acknowledge the importance that how much the state cares about the program plays in your success, but you have to be really careful to be who you are and live or die with that. And that's one of the vibes that I've gotten from the coaching staff this offseason is, hey, it didn't work trying the mostly our way, but we're going to give you some breadcrumbs over here to make you feel good about whether that's the quarterback with the last name or whatever else, right? Or the special teams coach that's from here that maybe wasn't a personality fit or whatever. Like, to heck with all the things that we do because of the optics. We're going to do this our way and it's going to work or we're going to die and we can live with that. So that's the number one thing that I got from the tone of the press conferences so far. Number two, going very specifically to the thing you brought up with Dana and is that the fans or is that you guys, is I do think, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here because I think everybody does it to a certain extent, myself included. Sometimes when people in public positions, whether it's media, radio people, commentators, whatever, sometimes I think we say fans as cover. We think something and so, oh, the fans are talking about as cover because we don't want to be the one person out there saying a thing, right? Like, fans seemed really disappointed that they didn't bring anybody in the transfer portal in the running back room. Maybe there's a lot of people in somebody's mentions saying that. I don't know. I'm not in your mentions. Or sometimes we think things, but don't necessarily want to take the full ownership of that thing. I think those are the two things that I really took away from Coach Rhule, Coach Holgorsen, and less so Coach Orich. He was a little bit different vibe than the other two, but it's also his first time. So who knows, how that tone will change. But I really thought that was interesting. And I actually do think they go hand in hand because to me, that was a very Coach Holgorsen answer. If you follow Dana's career, that was a very Dana press conference. I didn't think that was a departure from his personality. I thought it was a little bit of a departure from the way we heard him talk most of last year. But that's kind of who Dana is. Like, he's very straightforward. He can seem a little abrasive. I don't really think he is. I think he just is very straightforward. Maybe that's
you though famously the second or third or maybe the fourth question I asked him was about travel.
Yeah.
And the Big Ten and him getting accommodated to, being whether he's in Houston or West Virginia. And he looked at me and he goes, well, you have heard of these things called airplanes, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like, that was his response to me.
Yeah. And you guys like each other.
I was like, Okay.
That's just kind of how he is.
He's
right?
like, it's 2.5 either way. We're good.
But,
play ball. Like that's what I mean.
Yes,
that was.
But
I
that's
mean,
kind of,
and Jess is like, ooh, damn. But
that's just how he is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my point is, whether it's Coach Rhule, whether it's Dana, whether it's the rest of the coaching staff, and whether it's on the field, in the meeting rooms, or with the media, I think there's going to be a lot of like, hey, this is who I am. This is how I've been successful in the past. We're going to win with me being me, or we're going to lose with me being me. I'm not going to lose with me trying to be you.
Yeah. I may bump the running back room up a little bit.
In terms of your order of going to see him?
Yep.
Where
might be my first offensive group. No, the second. They'd be behind tight ends.
Yeah, you love the tight ends. So you're putting
I'm just curious.
Fifth?
Yep.
All right. That's not bumping.
Linebackers, D-line.
Secondary.
Tight ends, running backs.
Quarterbacks, O-line, or O-line quarterbacks?
O-line quarterbacks.
Okay. So quarterbacks are your last. Okay.
Even though I'm one of those weird people. I actually think I think the quarterback thing is gonna be legit. If they learned anything from Jeff Sims, it's let it play out.
I think it's a real battle. And like I know
it is absolutely let it play out.
Who did we talk to? Was it Andy this morning that was like,
because you got to remember at the end of the day,
yeah.
I think another year with Latif, they know they can win X amount of games. And you have Kalen. So I don't think anybody's handed anything. So people will say it because it sounds easy to say. They'll say, well, you didn't come here to not play. But in the same vein,
TJ didn't stay here to not play either.
In the same vein,
yeah,
you weren't just going to hand the keys over to Minchie either.
Yeah.
So
I think that's part of
I
think that's part of the reason Nebraska's quarterback options were what they were.
Yeah.
They weren't going to go out and pay a Brennan Sorsby and be like, you're our anointed starter. They had just done that with Raiola and they didn't like it. I know Andy said that it was never a competition when Raiola came here. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
And also the options that you had, no offense to Heinrich Harburg,
but
he ended up
we're missing the second part of what Coach Rhule said about that competition is there were some leadership traits that he had to learn before they wanted to name him a starter.
For sure.
It wasn't necessary. We bottom lined it in saying this, but he was very specific about what he was trying to let him develop and earn.
Sure.
While there was the quote unquote battle.
Yeah. I think this is a real quarterback battle. I would not be surprised either way if TJ Latif or Anthony Calandria start game one.
Yeah.
Like there is flip a coin.
I don't even really know. Like it doesn't bug me either. Like
I don't care either way.
Yep.
I really don't.
Yep.
I like Calandria. I've liked what I've
and I like Latif too. So.
And I think Latif with an extra year could be really good too. So I think Nebraska's in a good place with their quarterback room. I like the fact that they have options. And I do think it's a real battle. I'm not one of the it's going to be Calandria or bust deals.
Yeah. We're just lately the last week and a half, you guys taking baby steps into introducing you to a fourth hour. I don't think we finished on time in 5 days, except for the debacle Monday.
We're digital. There is no on time.
Yeah.
Everything's on time.
Rico's like, you see that knife up there on the ledge? I got to cut you.
Rico's fine. You got to worry about Shane.
I think it's AJ.
Shane's just going to walk out at 10.
I think it's AJ.
At 10:12, Shane's just out of here.
I mean, that dude is back there with the head. I think it's AJ.
He's not doing it anymore.
Shane will be cool.
If you need someplace to watch the Nebraska and Creighton games tonight, Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill is the place to be. They've got all the games. They've got great food. And they've got great TV set up to watch both games. You got a 6 and an 8 o'clock start. Just spend your evening.
Back to back.
Back to back over at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back tomorrow with more Hurrdat Sports Live.